So I mean, this might be too bright. We're live now. You guys get to see the halo effect here, and my computer's not even normalizing. So
The door's open and the window's open. Come on in, everybody.
there we. Yeah, I look absolutely. Put the white shirt too on top of it. So like,
You're like, I am glowing like an angel, you guys.
yeah. And you might wonder, like, dude, it's 107 degrees. Why are you wearing a sweatshirt? Because
I was wondering that.
in the house. So I'm downstairs in the house, and the HVAC pumps here. So in order to get cold air upstairs, it has to be Arctic down here. So it's about 33 degrees where I am right now. I'll start chattering and shivering. There's actually times, this is a true story. I will go sit on the front step in my sweatshirt and my sweatpants, and I'll sit there on my phone, and Jen comes out. She's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm just warming up. Because it's chilly down here. But
I think what the people watching don't know is that was just an elaborate excuse for you to do the shirt take off, show off the guns a little bit.
Yeah, you've caught me. So
It's the 4th of July. We're bringing in the infantry.
Well, it's 4th of July weekend here on Soup and Meatballs. We had a bye week last week. How was your bye week? What'd you do?
What did I do? Nothing that memorable, apparently. Did I go to the movies? I went to the movies this weekend. I saw Backrooms. That was fun.
Backrooms.
Yeah, it was. It's a horror movie. It was kind of freaky. I didn't just make this up. This is a real thing that I did. Don't trivialize my life.
I did not go to a horror movie. I went to a wedding last week, which was a really good time.
They can be horror movies, am I right?
Hey now.
No, good luck to the couple.
No, they really good time. It was what you would call a traditional / stereotypical Pittsburgh wedding, meaning there was 4 or 5 tables dedicated to cookies.
You threw French fries at the couple on their way out to the church?
No, but I like that idea. That we should make that a thing.
No more ridiculous than rice.
Sure. When was the last time rice was thrown at a wedding? Is that still done?
I think it's frowned on. I can't remember if it's like pigeons or certain birds. Like rice is a problem for them. So but that might be an urban legend too. I might just
the community of Chambersburg and Bloomsburg would appreciate it if you did not throw rice at a wedding. That's fair.
It doesn't do anything to the birds, but it's just ridiculous, and it's a waste of rice.
It is. It would be a waste of potatoes and French fries, so we won't do that. But Rachel and Mitch are now married for a week, so that's that. I don't know what the 1 week anniversary is, but like you said, good luck to them, and
yeah,
it was a good time. Another good time. I asked you about this. I said, have you been watching the World Cup enough that you can, I guess, relatively speak, somewhat intelligently? I was watching the Cape Verde Argentina game at Red Robin, and it was on mute, and I was like, how is Cape Verde matching up with these guys? Because my knowledge of soccer is there's limited, and then there's me. So, Tim, the floor is yours. How's the World Cup been going for you?
I mean, it's been a lot of fun. This has been a particularly fun World Cup just because the biggest names are having the biggest moments. Like the superstars are having a big tournament. Messi's having a big tournament.
Winner on Saturday.
Right. Yesterday, France won when Kylian Mbappe hit a penalty kick in the 80th minute. Harry Kane for England's having a good tournament. Mo Salah for Egypt. Ronaldo had a tough opener, but he had a hat trick, and he's had some moments for Portugal. Erling Haaland for Norway. So like the big names in global soccer, really doing their thing while the world's watching.
That's the thing that I guess most sports leagues want, like the big names playing in the biggest spots. Has there been any big surprises for you this year?
I think a lot like the last World Cup. It's just the emergence of Africa as a player on the world stage. Just because when people think of soccer, they think of the Brazils, the Italys, the Germanys, and now the last tournament, Morocco was in the semifinal. Morocco's now in the quarterfinals this time. They had a nice 3-0 win over Canada in the round of 16.
Was that 3-0?
Yeah, yeah, they beat Canada. Look at you,
The nil.
Diego Maradona over here.
I saw I was doom scrolling through TikTok and I came upon the Simpsons soccer episode where Kent Brockman is there, like, and the center passes to the forward and back to the center, waiting, and then they pan over to the other broadcaster who is going absolutely crazy.
That's one of the great things about the World Cup is seeing the excitement from because it's a lot of like British. Since for the English language telecasts, you'll get obviously Latin American for the Telemundo broadcasts. But just hearing, I don't think American broadcasters in any sport match the hyperbole of the broadcasters in the World Cup, where they're like someone will score the most mundane mundane goal, and they'll be like, another transcendent performance. A God walks among us.
I mean, in a sport where your final score could possibly be 2-1 or 1-0, that's France a 1-0 win. So yeah, that is a transcendent goal. It's a big experience. So I mean, the cool thing, I guess, about the World Cup being here in the United States is that I got to get the USMNT, the United States Mutant Ninja Turtle team, is in the Sweet 16. Can we say that? Is it the Sweet 16 in the World Cup?
It's America. Of course we can call it the Sweet
16. Okay, cool. So they are in the Sweet 16 against Belgium.
Yeah.
And we're sick of the Swiss. And what do you think about that, Belgium? Anyway, kickoff tomorrow, 5 o'clock at Seattle Stadium out in Seattle, Washington. The big news, I guess, for the United States, Florin Balogun getting the red card, meaning he's not playing in this game, and he's our top scorer. That seems like a big deal.
It is. But I don't think – I've seen some people who feel like it's the death knell for the American chances, and I don't think it's that. This is a pretty potent American attack. They showed that with the 4 goals against Paraguay in the opener. So it's going to be a tougher challenge against Belgium. But I think they have enough to get by Belgium. I think the round of 8 is where the U.S. comes to a stop.
You would face the winner of Portugal-Spain if you get past Belgium today. And I don't know. I haven't done no research on Portugal-Spain. I have looked up, like I did the cool little picture here, and I had to find a graphic for U.S.-Belgium. And on the page, it mentioned the fact that back in March there was a friendly between the U.S. and Belgium. Belgium won that one 5-2. And on the ESPN page, it mentioned the last 4 times the United States matched up with Belgium in the World Cup. Belgium's on a 3-match winning streak. The last time the United States won, well, Gallant Fox won the horse racing Triple Crown, and Bobby Jones became the first player to secure the single-season Grand Slam. That was 1930.
Yeah. But the U.S. is changing thinking about soccer in this country in a lot of ways because they'd had a friendly with Australia and then had a good result against Australia in group play. So kind of redeemed themselves with the win over Australia earlier in this tournament. They struggled against teams from Europe and just beat Bosnia Herzegovina in the first knockout match. So, a lot of people have made the point that before the U.S. would come into matches like this and just, want to stay competitive. And I think it shows the emergence of America that the U.S. comes in believing very strongly that we can beat Belgium.
The odds makers, the money's moving the needle one way or the other. I know that the needle's moving slightly towards Belgium right now. They're plus 155 to win in 90 minutes. The Americans are plus 180 to win in 90 minutes. Draw is at plus 230, I believe. And odds makers like a high scoring game here. I don't know about you. The over 2.5 is getting minus 134 odds, while the under is getting plus 110. So, what are your thoughts? High scoring, low scoring? I think it was based on the 5-2 game that the odds makers are liking that.
I don't know. I think it'll be relatively low scoring. I think the tournament in general has been a bit more high scoring because of the star power that I'd mentioned. But I think with the U.S. lineup missing a little firepower, I think they're going to turn it into a little bit of a rock fight. Almost like what Paraguay did to France yesterday, and try to make it more of a wrestling match. The opposite of a beautiful game. So I could see something like 2-1, maybe being like the highest scoring result we'll see.
Down at the other end of the bracket, Brazil, Norway, they kick off today at 4, it looks like. And Mexico, England kicks off at 8. And then on Maria's birthday, Tuesday, Argentina, Egypt, Switzerland, Colombia. Anything down there you're looking for? Anything you're excited about?
It's always exciting when you get to this stage and you just see like the hope of the World Cup butt up against the natural pessimism of the English people. They want to win a World Cup so badly. It's been since '66 that they want it. And it's going to be tough. England's had a bit of a mixed tournament so far, and it's Mexico this round, right? And then they get Norway in the round of 8, I believe. I think England has enough to get past Mexico, but I think if we get Norway, England in the round of 8, I think that'll be a lot of fun.
But after they would get Brazil, Norway's winner, which you assume is Brazil.
Well, Brazil struggled with Japan. I don't know. I think Norway can beat Brazil. Brazil's been a little underwhelming. I obviously their reputation for the 5 cups, but I think Norway beats Brazil.
I you know what? I'm going to call that your hot take for the day. I don't know. Like I
Get
said,
it out of the way early.
I'm just trying to keep up with you here. I will tell you this: the one thing that I'm going to put this up one more time. I'm not sure that there is, and I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. I don't even care. Is there an uglier trophy in sports? Look at that thing, man. Like, it doesn't. It's cool to win because you want to win the trophy, but like, it looks like something the Ghostbusters exercised, like a spirit holding up a ball. Ooh. And we're gonna lose my co-host here for a second. He told me they're having some storm issues up there. If you are a soccer guy, I'm not trying to tell you that it's not cool to win. I'm not feeling it as a trophy. Here we are.
I just thought it would be funny to duck out for a couple seconds to see you talk about soccer.
Well, I talked about the trophy looking there. Not my bag of tea.
I would say we just accept like the Major League Baseball, like the World Series trophy, because we've seen it our whole lives. But that thing's kind of hideous and fragile looking with all the flags sticking.
Oh no, the flags absolutely. The fragility is absolutely. We could have a segment on the best looking trophies in sports.
I think the Stanley Cup's the gold standard.
Oh, come on.
Dirty, Sturdy.
when, when every player gets to take the Stanley Cup for a week and then like they do stuff with it. That's kind of cool. That's and for somebody who doesn't like hockey, yeah, I think the Stanley Cup is it's in another stratosphere.
Yeah. The Lombardi's a nice trophy. The Heisman. The Heisman's even better than the Lombardi, I think.
Yeah. I would agree with you there. I dig that. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the new college football trophy. That looks very much like you've won the salesman of the year at Toyota.
Yeah, it's this is awarded to the top realtor in suburban Phoenix.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like to me. It's cool to win, but yeah, Heisman's up there, Stanley Cup's up there. The NBA's MVP is pretty cool looking, but it actually looks very similar to that, I think, with a basketball on the top. But it's the person holding it, like Atlas, that's doing it. Like, that's weirding me out a little bit.
And I like all the rules for the World Cup as opposed to you have people putting their babies in the Stanley Cup or drinking Mountain Dew out of it or whatever. Like the World Cup, unless you are on the team, like you're not even allowed to touch the World Cup because that was a big scandal 4 years ago when that Salt Bay guy, that terrible viral sensation chef, was on the field touching the trophy and everyone lost their minds.
I can appreciate that. So the Yankees won in 2009, and my dad and I went to the Yogi Berra Museum in 2010. And they had the trophy on display, and we got our picture taken next to it. I didn't touch it.
Yeah,
I can appreciate the soccer community thinking like that, but yeah, we'll see where the U.S. falls by the next time we have our show next week. We'll see how Tim did with his Norway pick.
My hot Norway take.
Not sure about that one.
I've got some opinions about Scandinavia, people. So sit down. It's going to be our most Scandinavian show.
And I'm just going to let you talk because I have nothing to add there. So.
Oh, I've got several opinions about Luca fish. Is that what they call it? It's like that. It's disgusting.
How do you? I have to look this up. Luca fish.
I think that's what it's called. It's like Lutke. It's like pickled fish.
I'm gonna just type in pickled fish. Okay. Well, there's pasta with it, so that kind of. But yeah, oh my god! I mean, in the jar, it's people eat Swedish pickled herring.
Yeah.
Sometimes called glamaster still. I butchered that.
Too many umlauts. That's another issue.
Not an umlaut fan. Yeah, that does look disgusting. Speaking of disgusting, Major League Baseball is quickly approaching the All-Star break, and before we get there, in terms of where the league is right now. You saw Aroldis Chapman picked up strikeout number 1,364 in his career Friday night, surpassing the record held by Hoyt Wilhelm. In terms of relief pitching, he's the all-time leading strikeout guy. Where do you think, Tim, that puts him in terms of relief pitchers in all of history?
He's been too streaky in his career. I think, he struggled with control at times. Yeah. I mean, he's certainly not all time. I even in the conversation for top 20 probably.
20.
I'd have to think about it, top 20, but if he would be in the top 20, he's between 17 and 20. He's right at the end of the list.
He's right there for you.
And that's no knock. He's an elite closer, but
he's had ups and downs. The thing that at least stood out for me when he first came up from Cuba, in Cincinnati, he was one of the first pitchers that would like live above 100.
Yeah.
Then when he complemented that 101 or 102 with the slider, if he got the slider anywhere near the plate, he was unhittable. He really was. The problem, like you said, was sometimes the slider doesn't find the plate and he gets really wild. And if you know 101 is coming, it's hittable.
Yeah.
What makes it unhittable is that 89 or 90 with an awful break that looks like the 101.
And I mean, we saw last year what he's capable of for long stretches where, I mean, he was dominant last season.
And he's having a good year this year too. Considering where Boston is,
yeah, and how sparingly he's been used because of just not being needed for long stretches.
Look at the pitching numbers for him this year. Pitched in 27 games. He has 25 innings pitched. 33 to 12 strikeout ratio. That's about what you'd expect. ERA about 2.10. So for a limited use, that's it's a pretty good year.
Yeah, I mean when you look at Boston's record, I mean that's about the best you could hope for from a reliever on a team that's double-digit games under 500.
And the other thing I wanted to share with you, I saw this. It's where I see things. I see things on the Tickety Talk. So, oh my! Let's see if I can share my screen. So check this out. This is Barry Bonds talking about Shohei Ohtani. All right, so I'll set this up for you. Barry Bonds talking about Shohei Ohtani. Here we go.
Watch this.
Ohtani is not going to hit 2 home runs without seeing one go right here. In my generation, I don't care what he does. He's not going to steal 2 bases without somebody decapitating his kneecap and slow him down. They should be better than us as hitting-wise because they can hit a home run, flip their bat up in the air, run around, get a taco, come back down. As a hitter, we had to hit in a way to where if I hit a home run, I know what's coming in next at bat or possibilities. So my thing is I have to be a little more defensive and be more of a contact hitter to get out of a problem.
I honestly agree with Barry Bonds.
Okay, this guy's going to talk about Barry Bonds. So, I mean, I don't know how to conceptualize this. Barry Bonds saying that Shohei Ohtani would get thrown at in the 90s when he went up to bat with more defensive armor than John Randall wore on the defensive line for Minnesota.
I know. That front elbow. That was my first thought when he was talking about it. Where, I mean, each generation does this. Where, the generation before Bonds called him soft because he went up, with a robotic right arm practically.
Practically. I mean, it's what it was.
So, I mean, we saw that. I don't know if you saw the interview this week with Jorge Posada calling baseball unwatchable. Like that happens where every generation. It's not just in sports. It's just the growing old and seeing change and not liking it.
I don't know. I think the Yankees are borderline unwatchable right now. But what is watchable? We'll get there in a second. What is watchable though is the. Oh, I forgot all of the number. I didn't write it down. I don't know how many All-Star games we've had, but Shohei Ohtani is one of the aforementioned All-Stars. The starters were announced, and I can share with you here are the starting lineups or the starters as were voted on. Now some of these are obviously going to change a little bit, but yes, Aaron Judge has been hurt, so he's out. I don't know if Mike Trout's going to make he's going to try. From what I heard, he's currently on the injured list, but we'll kind of see where he falls.
That's what I read. That they're hopeful that with the hamstring he'll be able to play. It would be the first time he's played an All-Star game since 2019.
2019, yeah, I saw that. The thing is, if I'm an American League position player, if I am Jordan Alvarez or Junior Caminero or Trout, Witt, whoever, I'm not sure I want to play in this game.
Yeah, the National League pitching is ridiculous.
You sent me this graphic yesterday, and I was at my in-laws' house. We were celebrating birthdays on the 4th of July, the birthday of America, but also the birthday of my sister-in-law and her daughter. But imagine if you're an American League All-Star position player, you have Jacob Mizorowski starting with his 1.47 ERA, his 156 strikeouts, and his 175 mile an hour fastball.
Or
then Sanchez comes in. He hasn't given up a run in how long. And then you give the ball to Chris Sale and his 2.10 ERA, and then Burns comes in. And that's not even giving the ball to Yamamoto or some guy named Paul Skeens. Like
not to mention your best pitcher might be your DH.
Who isn't even listed as a pitcher. This really, this might be the best pitching staff I've seen in an All-Star game in a very long time.
And the kid from San Diego, Mason Miller.
For the 9th. And so I'll give you the rundown. National League starters: Chase Burns, his first. Johan Duran, Rizal Iglesias, both first timers. Max Meyer, a first timer. Mizorowski, Miller, we talked about. Eduardo Rodriguez from Arizona, first time All-Star. Chris Sale making his 10th appearance. Good for him. Sanchez, Skeens, we talked about. Logan Webb joining Yamamoto. The American League starting pitching staff doesn't have the star power to it. Brian Baker, Dylan Cease, Jacob Latz, Parker Messick, all first-timers. Cam Schlittler, a first-timer. Cade Smith, a first-timer. Luis Varland, a first-timer. Aroldis Chapman, the aforementioned, making his 9th appearance. And then Ranger Suarez. So, you were kind of thinking that maybe it would have been Sonny Gray, but they went with Ranger. What are your thoughts?
They're both having strong first halves. Sonny, I thought, based on the traditional metrics of win-loss and ERA, he's 10-1 with a 2.8, something like that, 2.9 ERA. He's coming off that start that he had last Sunday against the Yankees, in prime time. But either one, it's kind of like a pick 'em at this point, between Sonny and Ranger.
Now, Red Sox manager Chet Tracy said, there's a lot of fluctuation, so it's not over. He's probably at least 1 or 1A in terms of next guy up. If you get a pitcher who's not going to make the trip, if you are, I don't know, let me just throw out a name here. There's a lot of first and second. It's like a lot of first-time All-Stars. Like Aroldis Chapman, this is his 9th. If you have a starter out there that's in their 5th or 6th All-Star game, they might say, I don't need this. I'd rather go play golf for 3 days.
Well, and it's funny how many first-time guys and just new things.
6 in total.
Yeah, because you look at even the big names last year, Cal Raleigh struggling. Lindor hasn't played. Mookie Betts had a tough first half. Machado. So, this has been a chance to get some new blood into the All-Star game.
I really want to look this up because I don't know if anybody's having a worse year for a big name than Manny Machado right now.
Is he hitting 200?
187. Oh. He does have 17 home runs, which is tied with Aaron Judge, but Aaron Judge hasn't played since, May. 82 strikeouts. Yeah, he's just it's something you wouldn't expect out of him.
I mean, you want to talk about to Jorge Posada's point about baseball being unwatchable. You talk about the 80 whatever strikeouts for Manny Machado. Kyle Schwarber is on pace to strike out 265 times this year.
Kyle Schwarber has 30 home runs,
and that's exactly where the game is.
It's launch angle
because he's going to hit 65 home runs. He's going to strike out 265 times. There are 3 or 4 guys. I think the single season record is Mark Reynolds. from like 15 or 20 years ago, struck out like 240 times. If it's not him, it's Adam Dunn.
Adam Dunn's a good pick. I would have guessed Chris Davis. Most strikeouts, batter, season. Mark Reynolds, 223.
There are at least 4 guys right now who have to be on pace.
Adam Dunn is number 2. Do you know who number 3 would be? We'll get Mr. Smarty Pants out of the way.
What was it, Chris Davis?
He was 4. Mark Reynolds struck out 223 times. Adam Dunn, 222. Chris Davis, 219. But Character struck out 221 last year.
Someone who struck out 221 last year? Was it Schwarber?
No, it was James Wood, the Nationals.
Oh, yeah. I just remember when it was like this big scandal where in 91, the Detroit Tigers had 4 guys who were on pace for 30-something home runs, but were also threatening to each strike out 200 times. This is 30 years ago, and people are like, this is the death of baseball. It was Rob Deere, Mickey Tettleton, Pete Incaviglia, and Cecil Fielder. And people are like, how can you construct a lineup like this with just guys who are all-or-nothing type hitters? That's the game.
Yeah. I mean, so Pete Incaviglia, you said 1986. He struck out 185 times. That's 68th now of all time.
And Rob Deere was another one who used to strike. He was always around like 200. He with the Brewers, with the Tigers.
I just got lucky seeing Incaviglia here. 87, Rob Deere was up there with 186.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, so here you are, like all of these, the current players, like still playing, active top 10, there's 5 of them. Wood, De La Cruz, Yohan Moncada, Kyle Schwarber, and Eugenio Suarez. I like Eugenio Suarez, too. At least I did.
Yeah, it's just, well, that's my rant. For my first rant. My second rant. My first non-Scandinavian rant.
That's fair. I'll rant over here. I mean, we talk about our teams, New York and Boston. The last show we had, I had mentioned, the Yankees were 4 games over 500 without Aaron Judge, and things were looking good. And then I went to a wedding, and the Yankees lost 7 straight. They got swept, like you said, at home, on the road against Boston, at home against Detroit. And I thought that they had a chance to win Game 4 against Boston, but the bullpen absolutely soiled that away.
Do you think there's a correlation between the losing streak and the wedding you were at?
No. It's the losing streak actually happened when Aaron Boone decided to mess with the pitching rotation to give Garrett Cole an extra day off.
That's much more likely.
I take no blame in New York losing. When they win, it's completely because, I slept on my side or I drank out of my He-Man cup. But yeah, the losing streak, all Aaron Boone. And then you got even worse news. Yesterday, I think it was, Carlos Rodon got sent to the IL. And they had to make a move, so they bring up a pitcher. They have to send somebody down. They send Spencer Jones down, of all people, who he had his own little mini struggles, but Anthony Volpe keeps finding his way into the lineup. He's 3 for his last 21, but Aaron Boone keeps throwing him out there because he was a Yankee prospect, and they want to make him work. They're like, round peg square holing him into a situation where he's struggling offensively and defensively. Like his rookie year, he could have won a Gold Glove, but he's nowhere near that now.
Do you think a change of scenery is what Volpe needs?
Well, eventually, I think it's gonna become that. I mean, change of scenery is going to be second base, and then it's going to be Pittsburgh. Over the last 28 games, the Yankees are 13-15 without Aaron Judge, but they're still leading the wild card. So, like, there's no reason to panic. It's just, when you're 2-8 in your last 10 and you have a 7-game losing streak. In the meantime, Tampa wins 9 in a row and is hot as all hell. It's easy to get a little pissy about stuff.
And from the Red Sox perspective, I had to laugh when I was watching the game last Sunday, and they had Will Middlebrooks in the Peacock booth with Clemens, and Will Middlebrook was just trying so hard to sell the fact that the Red Sox are contenders.
Well, the Yankees did their best to make sure the Red Sox weren't selling just yet.
Right. But they were like, this is why the expanded playoff and the extra wild card is such a great thing for baseball. The Red Sox are in the mix, and it's like they're 14 games, they're 12 games, whatever it is, under 500.
Red Sox are 5 games out of the wild card, and as you go into the July 4th weekend, so we talk about Memorial Day, July 4th weekend, the All-Star break, those are key milestones. I mean, 5 games isn't unmake-upable.
Sure.
But 5 games is a lot because, I mean, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, you have 5 teams ahead of you, and then the 2 teams that are the wild cards, or the 3 teams that are the wild cards on top of it, Texas, Cleveland, and New York. And a lot of things have to go right for that to work out. If you look down in the National League in terms of wild card teams who might still feel like they have a shot, there are 4 teams chasing 3. And I would say down as far as Arizona and Pittsburgh, because they're 4 games out. You know what's neat? I gotta click this link. I was looking up something. I forget what I was checking, but there's a website called Tankathon, which is, really cool. And it has, like, if you're in the NFL, I used to go to this page all the time when the Bears were, how many games do you have to lose to get the top pick? Well, their Major League Baseball page has the remaining strength of schedule. So the toughest strength of schedule and the least tough. Do you know who has the toughest strength of schedule left on their all of Major League now? It's the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh. Well,
their remaining opponents have a winning percentage of .535.
That makes sense with the Central having been so deep all year.
But Boston's right in the middle. Their opponents have a winning percentage of just under .500, .499.
Well, I think Boston, for anyone to even call them a contender, it's just a testament to how bad the American League is compared to the National League.
Easiest strength of schedules 1, 2, 3, 4: Cleveland, Kansas City, the White Sox, and the Athletics. So then there you go. Yeah. But I mean, some of them are playing National League. The easiest schedule, the Guardians rather, have the Diamondbacks, the Pirates, the Rockies, the Mets, the Giants. In terms of National League teams, it's just they have the Rockies and Mets, and the Giants, who are just having some struggles this year. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's nice to see the Mets struggle. Mets 17 games out of first place, 12.5 out of the wild card. It makes being a Yankee fan during a 7-game losing streak a little easier.
And they looked bad. I was watching them against Atlanta for a bit last night. They had to go against Sale, and I turned it off when it was 5-0, fairly early on.
I didn't even see the final of that.
Yeah, I don't know what it ended up. I switched over to some WNBA.
When you turn off the Mets to watch the WNBA, that's how bad the Mets are. Where were they? I mean, the Twins. I got on a message board yesterday and I said something about, well, it's nice to be able to play Minnesota during the middle of a losing streak because normally New York plays Minnesota really well. They lost 11-4 yesterday. 6 home runs, I think the Twins hit. I saw. Ooh, the Braves 14-3.
Yeah.
The Falcons beat the Jets.
Yeah, it was even early on. It was bad defense from the Mets. It was Atlanta. It hit 2 home runs that I saw. It was just it was trending towards ugly, and I was like, all right, I think I've seen just about enough of this.
And there it is. It trended towards ugly and it ended up in ugly. And we transitioned to other ugly in terms of the NBA's off season. We kind of tossed these stories around 2 weeks ago, but we got to start now in Boston. Jaylen Brown no longer a Celtic. He was on the trading block for Giannis, but now he ends up in Philadelphia. Now, Tim, you're a lot smarter than me when it comes to the NBA. Please make this make sense. Why did Boston send Jaylen Brown to Philadelphia of all places?
Oh, I was hoping you could make it make sense for me. I mean, it's been how many days now, and I still don't understand what Brad Stevens is doing. To go from, all right, we're going to trade Jaylen Brown and we're going to bring in one of the top 5 players in the league, to being like, we're going to bring in 36-year-old Paul George. We're going to bring in his absolute albatross of a contract. Essentially, you're getting rid of Jaylen Brown and you're enduring this terrible contract of Paul George for the package of draft picks you're getting. Because one of the picks they got from the Sixers is an unprotected pick from the Clippers, who, if they lose Kawhi, you would have to think it's going to...
I thought Kawhi got sent to Toronto, I think.
That's what I'm saying. The Clippers without Kawhi, that unprotected pick could be like a top 5 or top 10 for the Celtics.
That's fair. I have to find it because I didn't understand the ins and outs of it, so I went to AI and I was make sense of this, and it gave me a list of all the things why this was good for Boston, and then I asked it straight out, like, dude, how many games do you think Paul George plays in Boston? And it first started by saying, this is for informational purposes only. For medical advice, consult a professional. Like, I don't know how many games this guy's going to play. I'm not asking you about my COPD. It didn't give me a straight answer. How many games do you think Paul George plays in Boston?
I mean, 36-year-old with the injury.
Fair?
36 years old with the injury history. I think a best case scenario is, 50, like in the low 50s.
50. That's best case, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
And look, when he's healthy, he can still be a problem because he was productive in that series against the Celtics in this past playoffs. But it just boggles the mind. The only things you can think about why the Celtics were so desperate to get rid of Jaylen Brown after he was like an MVP caliber guy who kept them afloat for 3/4 of the season.
This is a Boston team that I really thought was going to be in the lottery this year, losing Tatum. Brown was an MVP candidate.
Right. And so, like, you hear whispers that, they like to call him like he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, which, by the way, he might be. He's a really smart guy. He was a high school valedictorian, and
really?
when he was 23, he was the head of the Players Association. He was the youngest president of the NBA Players Association. Lectured at Harvard, and played. He was on the chess team at Cal.
I could see why you'd want to get rid of a guy.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That.
Who needs that kind of intelligence in a player? The other thing that I think the two more likely factors are personality conflicts with Jason Tatum, and they had to pick which of these guys are we keeping.
You're going to supermax 2 guys,
right? Now. Or some people will claim that even though Brown's an elite scorer, he's not an efficient scorer. He doesn't match the metrics of what is prized by a guy making that kind of money.
You know what he is not, though?
A Boston Celtic.
He is not a flopper, which he claimed Joel Embiid was. Yes. So now on the Philadelphia side, how does that locker room thing get squashed early? Does that build up? What do you think about that?
I don't think much comes of that, but I do think this move certainly signals that the Sixers are de-emphasizing Embiid. That was a big question about, like, if Embiid's healthy, like, how much of the focus of the offense, because he's a bit of a black hole on offense. Like, if you're gonna throw it to him down low, that negates what guys like VJ Edgecombe and Maxey do best. And now when you bring in a third guy who has that kind of Maxey and Edgecombe type skill set in Jaylen Brown, I think it tells Embiid, like, you're not going to be getting the touches in 26-27 that you might have thought you were getting. I think that's the bigger problem for Joel Embiid than Jaylen Brown's thoughts on his flopping.
That's just locker room chemistry. Because I mean, coming from a team like the New York Knicks that just won the title, they kind of overemphasize team chemistry over top of superstardom. So any kind of little poke that you can have, because right now, if you look at the East, the Knicks are number one for as long as they're number one. I guess they just lost Mitchell Robinson to the Boston Celtics, and they signed Andre Drummond, who is just as good a rebounder, not as good a defender. But coming off the bench, we'll see how that works. But you have Indiana with Halliburton possibly coming back stronger than ever. Cleveland is still a thing. Boston will be a thing. Where does Philadelphia now rank in that kind of upper tier of the Eastern Conference?
I think you would have to slot Philadelphia in second right now. And
you put them above Cleveland and Indiana?
Yes. And Boston, who's still going to be formidable, especially depending on what they do, the rest of this offseason. I would hope they're not saying that, they think Peyton Pritchard's going to now become like a 25-point per game guy. But I think the big wild card in this, and it may segue into something else you want to talk about, is, where's LeBron James going to go? Did this move for the Sixers getting Jaylen Brown turn LeBron's head? Does he want to go to Philly?
So that's down. That's the next paragraph down. And I'll we'll skip this for now. We'll come back to it. So one of the other things we asked 2 weeks ago, where does LeBron end up? And I saw a bunch of TikTok videos about LeBron going golfing at a golf galaxy just outside of Philadelphia. So obviously all the internet detectives out there were like, well, this only means one thing. He's obviously going to be a 76er. So in terms of odds of where LeBron ends up, there's really now there's 5 teams that are kind of like, you go into an offseason thinking, well, these are the teams that have a chance. Like, he's not going to be a Sacramento King. I would bet an exorbitant amount of money on that. Fair?
Right. Yeah.
So I'll give you 5 teams, and I want you to build a pie chart. So all of these percentages have to add up to 100.
Okay.
I'll give you the teams, so it's not like a surprise. Golden State, Cleveland, Miami, Minnesota, and Philadelphia. And then I've also thrown in an other. If you want to put somebody else in there, you can leave a little slice for other. So the percentage chance he ends up in Golden State, in your opinion?
10%.
10. The odds that he ends up in Cleveland?
50.
50. Miami?
30.
Philadelphia?
What am I at? I'm at 80.
You're at 90 total.
90.
You went 10, 50, 30. And we can adjust this.
I'll go 5 for Philly.
You're going 5 for Philly. So then Minnesota, I've seen.
I'll go 9 for Philly, 1 for Minnesota.
9 for Philly, 1 for Minnesota, and then you don't have any for other. So
he doesn't want to stay in the West to go to Minnesota when he's still going to be playing at best for bronze, with the Thunder and the Spurs. I think if he goes anywhere, he goes to the East. I think the Giannis trade makes Miami a very attractive destination. They need help on the perimeter, which at this point,
yeah. So let's move there, because that was what we skipped over. We asked last week, where does Giannis end up? And Miami was the answer. The Heat sending a ton of assets over to Milwaukee. 4 players, 3 future first rounders, a second rounder, and a pick swap. That's a lot. But with Giannis and Bam, the Heat now a very, very formidable front court. Like you said, they just need some perimeter shooting. But the big problem there is they have the restraints of a hard cap. Because of this deal, they're not allowed to go past a certain apron. So they have $18 million to spend on 9 players.
Well, look, they're already getting 80 points a night from Bam. We've seen he can do it. So, you just need another 30 or 40 points from your other 11. They're set.
5 from Giannis when he's healthy. So yeah, that's okay. That's fair. You and I could be on this team. The 11th and 12th men.
Give me a call, Pat Riley.
I think based on that, I think the Bucks did pretty well in that trade. But if LeBron ends up back with the Heat, it would definitely have to be at veteran minimum, which I think is 3.9. And I don't know if LeBron can. I don't know if his ego can handle that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that anyone in the history of the game who's been at the level of like a LeBron, a Jordan, a Magic, a Bird, a Kobe, whoever. It's a pretty significant act of humility, even at 40 plus years, to sign for that.
If you look at, and so in terms of money, I copied this. Where the finances line up, Cleveland, the maximum offer they can give him is 3.9 as the veteran minimum because of the James Harden deal. The Sixers can offer him a maximum of $6 million. They're hard capped after the Brown trade. Golden State can give him 15 because Draymond Green opted out of his big contract. So,
and
we'll see.
You talk about Miami having only a front court. LeBron, in my mind, is not going to Minnesota because they have the opposite problem after the Lonzo Ball trade, where they've got Ant and they've got Lonzo, but they got rid of, Reed. They got rid of Julius Randle. Like, who's going to play the 4 and the 5 in Minnesota? So I don't think LeBron wants any part of that mess, and no one wants to live in Minnesota in the winter.
Fair. Oh, that's absolutely fair. After living in Los Angeles for the last couple of years, and then Miami, Cleveland and Minnesota in February are dismal. Speaking of dismal, I don't know how accurate this is. I mean, I see pictures on Instagram, and I just up and believe them. Adam Silver is apparently jealous of Rob Manfred, so he's trying to change his own game. Allegedly, the NBA is going to toy around with a one free throw league,
so much.
A one free throw rule in the G League. So this is a thing.
Yeah, this is a thing where you
I can hear SGA crying about this for miles away.
Yeah, where whatever shot you were taking, you only get one shot. So if you were taking a 3, you get one foul shot. That'll be worth 3 points. But then,
really?
That's
the one.
Yeah, if you're shooting it.
Oh, so now I didn't read into this. I thought you were just getting one foul shot, and the foul shot was still worth 1 point.
So if you get fouled,
God, this is even worse.
It's supposed to be like a game streamlining measure, like to make the game a little faster.
It's the NBA's pitch clock. You want to make it faster? Shave off, the media timeouts in the last 2 minutes of a game.
Yeah, streamline the review process.
Gosh.
Like that takes the strategy
so
out
one
of it
foul
too,
shot is
where
worth 3?
If you foul someone taking a 3, and you make them have to hit those 3 foul shots. This isn't like the intentional walk.
You might only get 2 or 3.
It made sense in baseball to make the intentional walk just send them along. Because once every 10 years someone sailed an intentional walk throw. This is not the same thing at all. I hate it.
So I was just working off the meme. I was working off the picture, and I just made assumptions. Oh my heavens, this is so much worse.
Such a terrible idea.
Oh my god. Hopefully, the summer league doesn't work there.
Yeah, I mean, let them have their fun trying out some of these ideas in the summer league or whatever. But
because in Major League Baseball they tested out the pitch clock, they tested out challenges, the ABS review in the minors, which oh my heavens, we're gonna stop talking about this before I have like my anger vein is starting to pop out. I can see it.
I don't want my words to manifest it into existence like Beetlejuice. Let's just move on.
Yeah, seriously. It's been almost, how long are we in here? 54 minutes. We haven't talked about the NFL, so let's do that so we don't get fined. Quarterback Brendan Sorsby's plans to enter the NFL through the supplemental draft fell through. The NFL said no supplemental draft. But the player, the league, and the Players Association have reached a settlement that resolves any kind of legal disputes to whatever he was doing in college. He is eligible to be drafted next season, so he's got a whole year to work on his footwork and keep up on DraftKings, right? The word from NFL scouts, third round ceiling for him, really just based on how well this year's crop of college quarterbacks who are actually playing play through, and how Sorsby does in the Senior Bowl. He's eligible to play in the Senior Bowl and the Combine and all that stuff. So the Sorsby saga is complete.
I wonder, and there's no official way that the NFL could tell teams we would find it very disappointing if you draft this guy or if you add this guy to your roster in the future. But I wonder if there's, like, through unofficial channels, if the word's gone out that, this, do not touch this guy. We don't need a known gambler.
Well, another known gambler. We talked about the Patriots wide receiver last time. But, the Patriots, Crafton, Goodell are buddies, so we won't worry about that.
I'd be surprised if we ever see Brendan Sorsby take any significant snaps in the NFL.
Meaningful snaps. I think he makes a team. I mean, there's 32 teams, which means there's, 96 quarterbacks? I mean, and are there 95 quarterbacks better than him?
Not only that, but, how many quarterbacks do you carry in training camp? He might throw a pass in a preseason game. Like, teams have five quarterbacks on the roster in the summer before they have to cut down to the 53.
Yeah, it doesn't get you a pension, but,
it gets him a look.
We'll see. Yeah, and when you're Brendan Sorsby, that's all you can ask for. And he seems to be contrite. The articles I've read seems that he's owned up to it, which is fine.
The NFL does not seem to care. If you read the letter that they sent to him, that was the polite legalese way of saying, get out of our league.
And Canada didn't want him either. The CFL said no, thank you.
Canada was even more polite, as Canadians tend to be, but they were like, go play somewhere else, eh? Pick your ball and go home, you hoser.
Is the XFL still an option? I don't know.
Vince McMahon will take him.
The one thing that, Brendan Sorsby as a quarterback, obviously one of the more important positions on the field. We're going to continue our look through different divisions and important non-quarterbacks. Last season, so we're going to go to the NFC South, and last season the NFC South just redefined mediocrity. A literal three-way gridlock at the top at 8 and 9, and the Saints had a 6-11 season. So going into this year, the division feels like it's up for grabs. We'll see, I guess. Tim, where do you want to start teams in the NFC South?
We're going to, of course, we're going to go alphabetically. We're going to start with the New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans, that's, starting from the bottom in both the alphabet and the wins.
Boy, how bad are the Saints?
I don't know. I mean, they started 2-10 last year, but they won 4 of their last 5. So you can feel pretty good about that.
Who is the Saints quarterback this year?
Tyler Shuck. But I looked at the roster, and Tyler Shuck, Spencer Rattler, and Zach Wilson are in the quarterback room for Kellen Moore.
Whoa. Oh, my God.
Oh, my.
Yeah, that's
not good,
not
Jim.
A point of strength. Jesus. So, for the Saints, I don't know. This is not a great
I feel
roster.
bad laughing at them.
Maybe I have 2 names written here. I'll go with Chase Young.
Okay. Is Chase Young a Saint?
Yeah.
I missed him when I looked at this roster.
I believe I'm right about that.
I don't say you're not, but I'm just telling you, when I look, I think the quarterback room really, it hurt.
Yeah.
And I look at depth chart. So depth chart there, I don't see Chase. Oh, there he is. Strong side linebacker.
Yeah, just to give him something off the edge, just because, there's just not a lot here. I mean, they finished the year strong, but I mean, what's the most we can hope for if you're a Saints fan in terms of wins? Like 5 wins, 6 wins,
7. I was going to say I don't know. I haven't seen their schedule,
but like
so I think
their biggest blessing is they play in a bad division.
A mediocre division. All 3 teams ahead of them are just better. So for me, I put down the team. The defense they were top 10 in net yards per game, 4th overall in pass defense. If the offense could find a way, I said the division is wide open. So I said the most important player might be the most explosive player. A different Buckeye, Chris Olave, 100 catches last year, went over 1,000
That
yards.
was the other name I had written down.
That opens up things for Jawan Johnson, who was in terms of tight ends, 3rd in terms of yards.
And you talk about some of the few talented guys on this roster. It's at the offensive skills where you have Alvin Kamara is still got something left in the tank.
I don't know about that. Travis Etienne is now listed ahead of him on the depth chart. Alvin Kamara, did he get hurt?
Yeah, I thought he got hurt last year.
He's active now. He's listed as active, but he'll end up splitting carries with Etienne if New Orleans wants to do that kind of thing. They're bad. They're bad all over. It's a name though that you would recognize.
Yeah, that is like an impressively bad quarterback room.
Yeah, but what you can say about their wide receiver, it sounds like an old Italian love song. Oh, love it.
Whoa.
Whoa. Yeah, that's outside of that, nothing good in New Orleans. Where do you want to go next? Let's get to one of those 8 and 9 teams.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go with the Panthers, who actually got good toward the end of the year last year.
Another team that was like, I remember rooting against them, and they were easy to root against because they weren't really that good. But last year,
they went to the playoffs.
Yeah, and you say they started out. They had a 3-game winning streak here in the middle of the year because I don't remember the end of their year being all that good, and the end after their bye week they lost 3 of 4, like they limped into the playoffs. But okay, they're not bad. They're the division champs.
Yeah, and who did they get in the play? Did they play Green Bay? That they had like a good playoff. They gave someone a scare.
No,
was it Chicago?
It was the Rams. They put a scare in the Rams.
The Rams.
The Bears knocked the Packers out. Yay! The best part about the season last year. And I was rooting for the Panthers hard because I didn't want to see the Rams in the playoffs, and I wouldn't want to see them next year. But
yeah, I mean, the Panthers are feisty. I went with Derek Brown at defensive tackle.
Yeah, he was one of the names I wrote down. He's the guy on the front line that gets doubled, and he'll open up things for people.
He's
go
the best guy on that defense. He's the guy that they'll rely on to just open things up for the linebackers, and just he's the guy who causes the most trouble.
He's going to be the guy really important to one of your former guys, Jalen Phillips. Just signed a really big deal in Carolina. The deal earned him the title most overpaid player by Yahoo Sports. So it's up to the front line to make that headline soften a little bit. The other name you can look for in Carolina, I think, is J.C. Horn, back-to-back Pro Bowl defensive back. But, yeah, I think Derek Brown is going to be the most important player for Carolina, just based on bringing Phillips in. So we got Atlanta and we got Tampa.
Let's go to Tampa. And I'm going to go with Tristan Wirfs, a tackle.
Offensive line, I like it.
Yeah, just because Tampa kind of goes as Baker goes, and even with him kind of having a borderline, or maybe even not so borderline, reckless style of play, the most you can keep him upright and keep him healthy. That's the key to success for Tampa.
Yeah, absolutely fair. I mean, if you look at their offense, they don't have a big standout. Like their best receiver ranked 20th in the league in yards. Rushing stats are even worse. I think their leader was like 35th. They split time with their running backs. If you put their two running backs together, there's still 10 running backs ahead of them.
And it's funny because you say all that, and yet through like the first like 6 or so weeks of the season last year, people were talking about Baker for MVP.
I remember that. How'd they start out? 2025? Huh? I don't want to see their 26 schedule. They won 5 of their first 6 games. The lone loss to the Eagles, where Mayfield still played pretty well. But in our lifetime, the relative since Tampa's been fairly good since we'll say 2003.
2 rings.
They built a reputation on defense, and they just lost a Hall of Fame caliber linebacker. Levante David just retired. Heart and soul of that defense. And it looks like their 4th-year linebacker, Yaya Diaby, he wants to be the next big name for them. He stepped up in OTAs, wants to be a captain. It's the last year of his rookie deal. So this is really like a big go out and get some big money year for Diaby. So I love Wirfs. I love offensive line. I'm going to say Diaby on defense for the Bucs, which brings us to the Atlanta Falcons, which might be the biggest wild card in the division.
Yeah, and as much as you'd like to throw out some other, maybe more obscure name, it's got to be Bijan Robinson because he I think is every bit as good, if not better, than like someone like a Christian McCaffrey or something like that. Like ran for 14, 15, whatever it was last year. He's like Marshall Faulk light. And I think we saw like late on Monday Night Football last year when he ran for the 200 yards. Like he did that against the Rams too, and just one of the most explosive players in the NFL.
What's interesting about Atlanta to me is the fact that they decided they were going to bring in Tua to compete with Michael Penix, and with Kevin Stefanski as the head coach, he's going to bring in this zone run scheme it's designed to open up play action for whoever the starter is. So I'm with you in absolution. Bijan Robinson is absolutely the most important. He might be the most important player, period, including quarterbacks.
And I mean, it's tough to say with the way the league works now that a running back could be the MVP, but he could be the MVP of the league. Yeah, he could have like a Saquon-like season, like what Saquon did 2 years ago. He's a threat to go for 2,000. Just an elite player.
He had 2,000 all-purpose yards, 2298, if my math is correct. So, yeah, I'm with you there. Good deal. There it is. So next time, NFC North, as we work our way back through east to west and west to east.
Black and blue division.
Indeed. Now maybe your favorite time of the week or a couple weeks. We'll see how angry Max can get. I don't know if you saw this. It was July 1st. I saw this announcement. Sony announced that it would end the physical disc production for any new games released on the PlayStation consoles. And Sony is also closing the online store for PS3 consoles. At the forefront of all of this consumer backlash is the idea that when you buy a game, you don't actually own it anymore. You're just buying a potentially revocable personal license to play as long as Sony doesn't take it away. And before you say, Sony would never do that, Sony just revoked over 550 purchased movies and TV shows from user libraries with zero refunds due to their expiring license agreements. Gamers are rightfully terrified that the exact same thing happened, or the exact same thing might happen to their game libraries. Sony, guess what? You just made the list.
I'll say this: if buying a game from Sony doesn't mean that you own it, then pirating a game doesn't mean that you stole it.
That's the other thing that people heard. That if owning isn't, yeah, I don't know the exact phrase, but I don't play enough games, honestly, to get like super fired up about it. Thankfully, all the games that I'm really into, I'm a tabletop gamer. When I buy my game, it's not like they're going to take it back. I'm lucky in that regard.
And this has been like a resentment that's been growing for the last 10 years or so. About we see it with like streaming content in media, where movies and TV shows, some aren't even available anymore. They've been deplatformed completely by studios.
Music's the same way.
Yeah.
I can get on the Apple Music thing, and I've actually had songs that I've owned that I ripped onto my phone from iTunes that I can't play. Here, this item is not synced. I mean, you can't see it. You just got to trust me. This item's not synced across your devices. I had the CD. I just can't play it on my phone. So the fact that you own something but don't own something, yeah, that bugs me. So Sony on the list.
I must be like in a very peaceful place. I have nothing for the list this week.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Blood pressure's nice.
I have
and
something
even keel.
I saw something for the Faith and Humanity segment on June 25th of this year. There was a musician named Jacob Collier. He took to the stage on you know what TED Talks are, TEDx. He went to the TED stage along with the VSO School of Music Orchestra, and I'm going to share some of this video with you. I'm not going to share the whole thing. I'm going to fast forward a couple points because it's 5 minutes long. But check this out a little bit.
D. That one up there. Perfect. Can you play an A next door?
He's working with this symphony right now.
Could you play a G? That's the one. And a D? Can you try tremolando? Cool. Could you play a G? And you play a D?
Look at this guy. He's kind of interesting looking.
Dun, 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 dun.
Goes through the whole orchestra,
Perfect.
giving them something.
Can you do that?
They have no music
Starting
in
on
front of
A.
them.
Do on the G string. All the way down.
We can see the basses now.
Yeah. Clarinet, can you do the same thing, but starting on C, concert C there. So.
If you're watching this in the audience, you really don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So now, if you're in the audience, let me get to.
So I'm going to give you a part.
He's going to give the audience
Pretty
something
simple.
to do.
It goes. Ra-da-da-da-da. Can I hear that? You're doing like more drunkenly. Ready? And. That's exactly the vibe. That's the vibe I'm talking about. So on my signal, you go. Sublime.
This is
okay,
neat.
violins, you ready?
Check this out. He just tells them to go. And at the beginning, you're like, I'm not sure what's happening here.
There's nothing you can do that can't be done.
Look at this.
Nothing you
amazing.
can sing that can't be sung.
It gets better.
There's nothing you can see, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Plus, go, 3, and all you need is love. Go! All you need is love. Yeah. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. 1, 2, 3.
That's amazing to me. I saw that and I thought I have to share that with the show somehow, and here it is. So apparently this is an entire 15-minute performance that you can look up on YouTube. The name is Jacob Collier, and yeah, he just kind of gave like you do this, and then poof, they made
That's
music.
one of those things. Like even only knowing a little bit about music, when you see like all the different bricks that come together to assemble the house like that. It's really something.
There's a guy on TikTok that breaks down songs, and like the one song that I remember watching was "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees, and he listed out like 17 or 18 different layers of music that go into that song. I'm like, dude, that's insane. This guy just made those 17 layers live on stage in front of people, and then he put the people in the song too. I thought that was really cool.
There's a TikTok account that I follow. It's a guy who breaks down like 5 and 6 part harmonies by like the Beach Boys or the Beatles or whoever, but he sings them all himself. Like,
oh, and there's like little boxes. Yeah. I've seen something like that. That's yeah. So my faith in humanity has been restored by Jacob Collier.
Tony couldn't bring us down for too long.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right, quick hitter time. Looks like we have 7, potentially 8. It's up to you.
Oh, 8's my lucky number. Let's do it.
Okay, number 1. WNBA players had a vote, and amazingly, Caitlin Clark was voted as the 11th best guard. Not the 11th best player, the 11th best guard. In all honesty, I think if someone offered me $1 for every WNBA player I could name, I would walk away with about $3. But Caitlin Clark would be the first one I'd name. Come on, 11th best? Are you serious?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. She's a top 3 or 4 guard in the game. I think the players had voted Paige Beckers the best. Paige Beckers is really good, and at this point might be better than Clark. But to have Clark 11 is just absurd.
There you go. Actually, I'd walk away with $4 now because I forgot about Paige Beckers. I was thinking Asia Clark, Asia, and Angel Reese. Number 2. Number 2. Your favorite sports event to not talk about, but my favorite event to watch with my daughter. The Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest held on Coney Island yesterday afternoon.
Let me get my Gaviscon.
Joey Chestnut putting down 66 hot dogs and buns to win yet again. How's your reflux feeling?
I can feel it right here. Just working its way up the old solar plexus.
Oh my goodness! But George Chiger or Chigger, whatever his name was, from Pennsylvania, was part of it, and I'm not sure how many hot dogs he finished. I couldn't find it, but Crazy Legs Hirsch, I think, finished in like single digits. I think he was like the legacy guy up on stage. I think collectively you and I could have gotten double digits, but
that makes me want them to like bring in legacy guys for like home run derby and slam dunk contests.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about slam dunk, but home run derby.
But let's see what Dominique Wilkins can do these days.
There you go. Number 3, former Alabama head coach Nick Saban has allegedly filed a 197-page proposal to eliminate NIL from college sports. I'm not sure if this is real or not, but it does reek of something Saban would think about, as the NIL was part of the reason why he left college football. It's not easy to win when everyone is paying the players. Let's not.
Yeah, in
thoughts on that.
In a related story, old man shakes fist at clouds. I mean, Nick Saban just wants it to go back to 2006.
The good old days when Alabama paid players and Ohio State didn't. Or they did.
With tattoos.
Number 4, as seen on Twitter a few weeks back, I forgot to add this in, but Dolphins quarterback Darrell Baker wanted to let everybody know that if he were a practice squad player, he would be making $5,500 a week. It's around $286,000 a year, just about $203,000 take home, and that those kids ain't rich. Darrell Baker just signed a 1-year, $1.4 million contract with a $187 signing bonus. I'm going to go out on a limb and say if we combine your salary, my salary, and Derek's salary, we're not hitting $200,000 together. Your thoughts on Darrell Baker? Those guys are rich.
I can understand how when you're in the NFL and like you get the tunnel vision of like this guy's a multimillionaire, that guy's a multimillionaire. You can maybe feel a little inferiority making $286 a year, but the poverty line in this country is like $16,500 a year. So I'm not going to lose any sleep worrying about a guy making $300,000 a year.
Nor am I. Number 5, I saw a video for this about a fantasy football league where you draft a team, everything is normal. However, it is it was the no wins league. If you have a player on your team that their team didn't win the game, you don't get any of his points. So you could score 30 points, but if your team loses, the fantasy team gets 0.
I like that.
That seems pretty cool, doesn't it?
I like that. That's because we've had fantasy football for how long now? It's a fun wrinkle just to make things a little different and a little interesting.
I think that would be cool. Number 6, happy wedding anniversary to our friends Leanne and Nathan Nagel. 20-something years or so. If I had to guess, I would say 23. I do know both Leanne and Nate are avid Mets fans. So in that regard, it's almost football season, right?
How did that happen? Mets fans, come on.
Well, it was him. I mean, that's how Jen became a Yankee fan.
That's fair.
And I think they're both Penn State fans, so they're going to have a really good fall up until the trip to Ann Arbor. But, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary to them. I don't know if they're watching, but if they are, enjoy.
I'll make sure I'll send it to them. I don't know if they'll watch it or not, but speaking of marriage and the New York Mets, or New York City, that is, what's a bigger marriage story to you? Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, or the crazy Russians who climbed up the Empire State Building to get engaged?
I am very interested in these Russians.
I like the AI
get
pictures.
To the roof of the Empire State Building. Like someone had to have let them off.
About they stayed overnight, and like the next morning they broke through some security on the 102nd floor. I don't know. My hands are. I don't even have pictures up right now. My hands are climbing up.
I think Travis and Taylor do that.
Those two have done like building scales before. Like I've seen the girl's Instagram or TikTok, like because she's obviously in the news now, so people have found her. I cannot tell you how insane these pictures are. Like absolute lunacy. I get scared standing on a chair.
I was going to say, as someone who doesn't love heights, like, did you watch the video of them? And how much anxiety did it give you?
A lot. A lot. Like, I'm the kind of lunatic who'll get on YouTube and type in the words, world's scariest bridges. Because those are heights I have to deal with. Like, if I'm driving somewhere, like, the Bay Bridge in Maryland, forget about it. That terrifies me. But you go over it and you get through it. What these two crazy kids did, and they got the flag. And what I think is funny is all the people AIing the flag.
Yeah.
I almost made a soup and meatballs flag, but I thought, well, everybody's done that now. So
you and Jen, if you want to renew your vows for the 25th anniversary, there's an idea for you. Empire State Building.
A better chance of renewing my vows with you than I have of climbing that building.
I would be.
I don't even want to get in the elevator in that.
I would be honored.
Number 8, the last one, and this is the one. If we don't do it, and this is why I didn't wear my headphones. Would you like to call the Hogwarts admission line because I have the phone number for you? Here we go. Hogwarts admission. I don't know if I have to put a 1 in front of her or not, so hang with me here. And I know nothing about Harry Potter.
Me neither.
So
I know very little about Harry Potter.
This is going. Can you hear this?
An exceptional boarding school for aspiring witches and wizards aged 11 to 18. Please listen carefully to the following menu options before making your selection. Campus. The campus can be reached by taking the Hogwarts Express. The train is boarded from platform 9 3/4 at King's Cross Station in London. The train leaves precisely at 11 a.m. and is in Hogsmeade Station near Hogwarts. The time after nightfall. For safety reasons, Hogwarts main campus is at an undisclosed location in Scotland, perched upon Black Lake, the picturesque campus of the many amenities, including grass lawn, a first-rate Quidditch pitch, narrow greenhouses and gardens.
I think this is a recording. There's no one there to really talk me through admissions.
Yeah, I had a question about some credits I was trying to transfer over.
I hit one. I was hoping I could talk to somebody. Not nearly as cool
You
as
would
I
think
thought.
with all the money that franchise has made, they could have a live agent on the other end of the line.
I mean, the Macho Man Randy Savage workout set had somebody.
Let's call that lady back.
You know what? I have to go back and find that number. Yeah, she was so nice.
We should invite her to just be a guest on a future episode. Like a Where Are They
Tell
Now
us about-
segment.
I like that. There you go. I don't know where she would be. Draft time. What are we drafting today, Tim?
Are we? I believe now. I'm starting to doubt myself. For the 4th of July, the best Americans, our favorite Americans.
How did I write this down?
I can't remember.
Our favorite Americans. I just wrote down top Americans.
However you want to define that.
Yeah, there you go. It could be I could draft you number 1.
I would be honored.
All right. Top Americans for the 4th of July, 250 years and 1 day old. And we have the famous American documents, which, it fits thematically.
And to stick with the theme, I'm going 4 and red for red, white, and blue.
The Alaska Purchase is the 5 of spades.
Stuart Spalding.
You don't win this one. In 1866, the Russian government offered to sell the territory of Alaska to the United States. The two parties agreed that the United States would pay Russia $7.2 million, less than 2 cents an acre. And Alaska was admitted to the Union, becoming a state in 1959. So we got Alaska for $7.2 million.
That would only buy you about 20 practice players in the NFL these days.
Golden State Warriors can give LeBron James $15 million. So they could buy 2 Alaskas and still have a couple bucks left over. So I have a bunch of names here that I wrote down and for various reasons. I think we are going to go, we'll go political first, and I will take one of the most important presidents of the United States. I'm going to go with Abe Lincoln.
He was my number 1, and not just because I dressed up as him in 2nd grade for our parade of presidents. Yeah, Lincoln's a no-brainer. Widely regarded as the best president. There you
go. And he gave a speech right down the road from where I live. And as a matter of fact, if Derek attends Gettysburg College, which he's visited, he likes it there. Gettysburg College, the incoming freshmen, they all take like a march up to the area of Gettysburg where the Gettysburg Address was given, and someone does like a recitation of it, which I think is kind of cool how they embrace the local history there.
Yeah, there are a lot of cool local history things in Gettysburg because they have the ghost tours, they have the battlefield tours.
I saw I picked Derek up from work. He works out in Caledonia, which is between where I live and Gettysburg, and there was a big tractor trailer, and there was a guy hauling cannons. I'm like, well, I guess I know where you're going.
Yeah, no, Lincoln's a good one. I'm very jealous. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go political with my first one since I couldn't get Lincoln, and I'm gonna go with Ben Franklin. Just one of the great political thinkers, inventor, publisher.
Inventor on top, that might have been his bigger contribution.
Yeah, just a really interesting guy. Little saucy with the ladies. He was a Francophile. He spent some time over in France.
I don't know about his time in France. What can you tell me about that?
He was a diplomat to France during the Revolutionary. Oh, invented the bifocal. I'm enjoying one of his inventions right now.
I have the contacts, and he got there.
So yeah, Ben Franklin, super interesting guy, and tried to flirt with Pam Beesly on The Office.
Oh yeah. Except Dwight got in on it. You're like chocolate. What is this chocolate that you're? Yeah, that was funny.
Didn't Franklin have syphilis? Yes, but I don't. Flawed pickup line.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. Good. So solid pick. For my number 2, I'm going to go into the world of entertainment, and it is partially because of what my son is interested in. I'm going to take maybe the father of jazz, Louis Armstrong.
Okay, Satchmo. Interesting.
He transformed jazz from the ensemble style to solo art, which is kind of where like my son he digs that kind of stuff, and it changed the trajectory of a lot of that style of music. So in terms of my top Americans, how he's impacted my family, I will take Louis Armstrong and feel good about that as a 2.
And just one of the absolutely most distinctive singing voices. Like, if you hear Louis Armstrong sing, you know it. I'm going to venture out of politics. I'm going to, we're a sports podcast, first and foremost. I'm going to go with sports. I'm going to go with someone who, great athlete, but, a legacy that extends beyond that. I'm going to go with Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, that was my next pick. So, yeah, I think when I put this list together, he was the first name I wrote down.
Yeah,
because that was like
a veteran, great athlete at UCLA, and then obviously we all know the legacy of breaking the color barrier in Major League Baseball. There's a reason why 42 is retired throughout the league.
Yeah, only one bad thing to say about him. He was out.
And it's funny because I'd only ever read about the steal of home from the 55 series as a kid, but now that I've seen the videos, he is out.
There! Look at that. There you go. We just needed to get review back then, but no, absolutely. That's a no brainer pick there. In terms of sports, I will go. Let me copy this down because I'll go sports too. But this was one that, doing some research, was kind of interesting to me. I'm going to draft a guy named Alexander Cartwright, who was often called the father of baseball, not Abner Doubleday. Apparently, Abner Doubleday was just kind of a mythical figure in the world of baseball, had nothing to do with it. But Cartwright was a member of the New York Knickerbocker Baseball Club of 1845.
I was just reading about it.
And he formalized the rules of the 90-foot baseline, the 3-strike rule, the modern diamond layout. So in terms of the national pastime, I think the father of the national pastime should be recognized as a great American. So Alexander Cartwright. It's a name I hadn't known until looking some people up.
Yeah, and that's interesting that you because like the whole reason of like the Hall of Fame being in Cooperstown is because of Abner Doubleday. But yeah, like the origins of baseball, it's
move it to New Jersey.
Yeah, it's crickets. Damn right, it's Jersey. It's crickets, it's rounders, and people like largely don't know who to credit. But I was just reading something in New Yorker that because he sort of was the first one to have, like you'd said, these established rules, that it really should be him.
I saw a funny video. This is a while back now, about them trying to invent the game, and somebody's at bat, and he swings and misses, and the pitcher's like, "Yeah, I got you." And he's like, "No, you got to do that again." Again. It's like, no, you got to do it 3 times. And that's how they came up with the 3-strike you're out rule. I also didn't know that you know how many pitches it took to get a base on balls when we first started?
9?
It was 9.
It's funny. As soon as
Can you
I said
imagine
no, I thought it
today's
was
game?
9.
The count is 7-2. What?
That's going to affect some on base percentages.
It would certainly affect pitch counts.
I'm going to go. I'll follow your lead a little and go to the world of entertainment along the lines of you taking Louis Armstrong. And speaking of New Jersey, I'm going to go with Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, that's fair. He's one of the younger ones on this list.
Yeah, and obviously I'm a big Springsteen guy, but even more than just the music, like I dig his politics. The inclusiveness of his music. I just he can be a little preachy, say what you will about him, but I love me some Bruce Springsteen.
I don't like Bruce Springsteen, but I don't dislike Bruce Springsteen. I have some Springsteen on my phone. I have nothing bad to say about him. Chisnell was big into Springsteen. I think Pascal might have been too. It always sounded like when he sang, he was in pain.
Yeah, he definitely has a bit of a labored singing style.
But I mean, I do have. Let me get on here. It's not that I don't. Let's go to artists. S. Spring. It's SP. Is it under B for Bruce? Yes, it is, because that's stupid.
Is it like 6 U's in Bruce?
Born to Run, Thunder Road, Badlands, Dancing in the Dark, My Hometown, Glory Days, Better Days, Secret Garden. I have the Christmas song on my Christmas playlist. What the heck is this? Born in the USA, and then Mrs. McGrath I have on here. So I have a lot of Bruce on my phone. I probably wouldn't put him on my if we were ranking music artists. But I absolutely no qualms with them on your list at all.
I'm pleasantly surprised at the amount of Springsteen on your phone, though.
Well, so number 4. You know what? I'm going to go with someone who maybe takes the current American spirit and turns it on his head, because he developed the first successful polio vaccine and then refused to patent it.
Jonas Salk.
So he chose public health over billions of dollars. I think Jonas Salk is like the ultimate humanitarian American, so I will draft him number 4.
Yeah, and that's a great, especially when you look at like the Pharma Bros now, who's the guy who went to that Martin Shkreli guy who's price gouging for AIDS medication, which is the exact opposite spirit of Jonas Salk.
Capitalism.
And we saw that with Crick and Watson too, with their work with DNA, where I'm sure they could have financially profited off of that, but instead it became the building block of a lot of modern science.
And Salk was a New York guy, so I can only assume he was a Yankee fan in the early 30s.
So for my number 4, I'm gonna go with. I want to go with a comedy guy, and I'm gonna go with someone who's like a political comedy guy. I could have gone Jon Stewart, but I'm gonna go Stephen Colbert. I'm going to go Stephen Colbert for a couple reasons. One, because I was such a fan of the Colbert Report. I find him hilarious. But also, I think when people talk about Christianity, like the idea gets perverted about what Christianity should be. And like Stephen Colbert,
he's an Irish Catholic, isn't he?
He is, and he's the type of Christian, he's the type of Catholic I wish I was. He's like, he's not blowing up an abortion clinic, or he's not standing up on a plane being like, hey, everyone, whether you agree with me or not, let me tell you all about like the church I go to, and maybe I can convert you. Like,
Thanks, Tim.
What's that?
Are you blowing up buildings?
No, oh gosh, no.
Oh, there you go. You're closer to Stephen Colbert than you thought.
But like he's giving money to good causes. He's raising awareness for good causes. He's a CCD teacher at his church. The last I knew. Just like,
can you imagine him teaching us in 7th grade? He would hate this.
I prefer the teacher we had. She was all right.
she dealt with our shenanigans better.
So Stephen Colbert, on top of being very funny, just like a good, decent human being.
No arguments there. For my 5, I have so many different names here that I could pick from, but I'm going to go with someone who's affected me, I guess personally, as the father of what you would call gaming culture, Gary Gygax, who created Dungeons and Dragons in 1974, and by doing that, he kind of created the modern tabletop experience, where the shift to it was cool to be creative. We'll put it that way. Like, it wasn't set. Here are cards, and like your card is better than mine. You could have an immersive experience. People who are fans of sandbox video games like Legend of Zelda or things like that, they owe a lot to Gary Gygax as well, because he was the first one who made that kind of game cool and profitable, which is also important. So Gary Gygax will be my number 5 pick.
So I'll tell you, with my list, I had so many political people written here, so I've been going top ahead, and I just thought of one who. So this is completely just in the moment, but I stand by this pick of number 5 being Pat Tillman.
That's fair.
Another sports figure, but a guy who kind of transcends the sports story of post 9/11. He joins the military, killed in action, and by all counts, just. Fantastic human being.
Is there? I really think there's the Pat Tillman Award.
He's like a real life Captain America, Pat Tillman.
The East-West game, the East-West Shrine Bowl awards the Pat Tillman Award to the player who best exemplifies character, intelligence, sportsmanship, and service. The Pat Tillman Foundation is out there, and as much as I like you, Pat, I'm not going to accept cookies. The foundation. Oh yeah. So like, there's the cool thing about that is like there's still there's scholarships out here. Good things are happening in his name.
Yeah.
Which is important.
It's. I'm glad I thought of that.
Yeah. The names that didn't get drafted for me that I had written down, larger than life American icon Babe Ruth. I was going to cheat and take 2. I wrote down the Wright brothers for their contributions to transportation. 2 very, very powerful and strong women in the civil rights movement, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman. And somebody, I think my sister might have drafted number 1 or number 2 overall, Stan Lee.
Yeah.
The architect of modern mythology.
And, Harriet Tubman was on my list, Martin Luther King. Along the same lines as Stephen Colbert is someone like Jimmy Carter, who's on my list, who was not a good president. And yet his life is defined by what he did after his presidency.
Afterwards.
So when you talk again about like the form you would like your Christianity to take, Jimmy Carter's a great example of that. And Dwight Eisenhower was on my list. Not only the architect of D-Day, but then went on to a great second career as a pretty successful president. Developed the interstate system. Saw us through Jim Crow and the Cold War.
There it is. An excellent draft. Good times.
I think an amazing show of restraint that neither of us took Hulk Hogan or Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan spent the 4th of July in Canada.
What kind of Patriot's that?
I don't know if he was visiting. I saw it on Facebook. He's like, I'm heading to. It was a signing show or something. And Axe and Smash of Demolition have a Facebook page. I don't know if it's them or if it's just somebody running it, but they put an AI picture up of them with red, white, and blue face paint. And I remember they did that at a Survivor Series. They looked so weird.
Was it during the Gulf War?
Hacksaw had the flag as face paint. It looked so weird. Was
it during the Gulf War?
I don't think that was, no. I think Hacksaw just wanted to wear makeup or face paint because Demolition did. So it fit his character to have the flag across his face.
Gotcha.
And I think he painted the 2x4 as well.
Oh, that's commitment.
Red, white, and blue. Yeah, but he spent 4th of July in Canada. Well, I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. Top 5 time. What are we... So top 5 is also 4th of July centric, right? I don't know if you went to a 4th of July cookout yesterday or did any of that kind of stuff, but if you out in Soup and Meatball lands are thinking about having a cookout of sorts for the 4th of July or for the 4th of September or for the 18th of May, whatever, there's some things that you should probably have. And we're going to list our top 5 most important items to have at a cookout, maybe for the 4th of July. Would you like to go first?
I didn't necessarily do most important.
Okay.
I went with personal favorites.
That's fair.
Although none of these 5 are soup.
That's, you don't really have a lot of soup at cookouts. I didn't put meatballs on mine.
Yeah, and I split it up 3 like food type things, 2 desserts.
Oh, okay. That's fair. I actually have only 2 things of food, so this will be interesting.
Oh, you went like activities and.
I went things.
Okay. Things. So clearly, I'm my mind went right to food.
That's fair.
And my number 5 is potato salad because it's the ultimate side. If you have hot dogs, if you have like fried chicken or whatever, like just a side of potato salad, and you want it like good potato salad. Like if it's a paper plate, you want it to bend the plate a little bit.
Bad
like
potato
you
salad.
Want it to creak a little. What's that?
What's bad potato salad?
Bad people want bad
Dexter Manlander. Don't put them damn raisins in them either.
Yeah, raisins don't belong in potato salad.
Who does that? Dude, that's a thing.
Bad people do it.
I'm with you. I like potato salad. Potato salad and macaroni salad kind of work in unison with me. It was always weird eating cold potatoes, but I remember my mother's aunt, cousin, whatever the McCulloughs were. Do you remember Lucianne? If that name rings a bell with you.
I don't think.
So Lucianne's parents used to have cookouts, and we would go. I'm like 5, 6 years old, and Johnny McCullough used to smoke a pipe. So downstairs it smelled like pipe tobacco, which actually smelled good. Yeah. But like they had the backyard is where I learned how to play croquet and stuff. And I would do these awful magic tricks for the old ladies, and I would entertain them with my terrible magic. But they were the kind of people that would have like the table with like your potato salad, your macaroni salad. So yeah, I'm with you there. Didn't make my list, so we have something unique. I assume some we're gonna have overlap. My number 5, in kind of conjunction with the McCullough cookouts, I said you need some kind of fun outside yard game, whether it was croquet or bocce or horseshoes or cornhole. You need something that isn't overly athletic. We're not playing run the bases over here. We're a little older than that. But something that you can do that's somewhat competitive, but you can still play while holding a beer in your hand.
I'm a big fan of those like big Jenga sets that you can play outside.
Yeah, I've seen those too.
And also shout out to maybe not for us, but for for the kids, a slip and slide.
I the last time we had a slip and slide in my backyard, because my backyard's on like a decline. We had it going down, and I went down into like the pool area, but Derek he got out of the way, but then he got back in the way, and I was like, dude, I can't stop, and he tumbled. We have it on video somewhere. It's funny, and he was okay, so that makes it funnier.
So again, glutton over here, another food item.
Sure.
You know, this just feels like 4th of July to me. Strawberry shortcake.
You're out. So you've blown my mind.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's such like a. I don't know if that's a common thing that people have strawberry shortcake at their 4th of July, but to me that feels like
It's a Jersey thing.
4th of July kind of food.
You got to bring that out later because it's got to stay cold, right?
Oh sure, like you know, you have your hot dogs and your hamburgers and your what have you, and then you know when people are starting to feel a little good about their lives and choices, then you stuff them full of sugar and strawberries.
Like I can think this is going to sound disgusting, but you put the potato salad out when it's cold. I could have a bowl of potato salad like a little later when it's lukewarm, not when it's spoiled. But warm strawberry shortcake just it had to be cold for me. I like strawberry shortcake. I just never associated that with the 4th of July. So any cookout works. You know, May 18th cookout, bring that out. I like that.
Yeah. And strawberries are such a great summer. Maybe that's why I associate it with the 4th.
That's fair. Perkins used to have these strawberry pies that my mother-in-law and Jen would like duplicate. When Jen and I first got married, we would make the strawberry pie that Perkins made. Like we stole the recipe or something. But yeah, it was a good summer thing. That's a good pick. So for my number 4, it was approximately 107 degrees yesterday in Pennsylvania. So if you're having a cookout and you're outside, I thought it might be good if you had some good quality exterior fans where you're creating your own breeze. Because so Derek was at work yesterday, and I go to pick him up, and I'm sitting in the car. Turn the car off. I open the windows. The theater's like in the woods. It's like Knoebels, right? It's like all wood. I was very comfortable with a cross breeze in my car, wearing a sweatshirt and a pair of sweatpants in 100-degree weather. But that's with the breeze. If you're sitting outside or you're like in the garage or whatever, and it's 100 degrees, it's very easy to melt. Especially if you're at the grill too. If you're working, you need some kind of circulation. So I saw this really cool TikTok video again. I mean, what else? Where it's like a light you plug in, but then you hit a button and like it's like a transformer. It turns into these 4 high-powered fans. I'm like, dude, that would be awesome. That might be too much fan for me. But
yeah, because that's such a terrible feeling where you're at a cookout. There's no sort of like cool air moving, and you're just miserable. You're sweating. Ugh. Even just talking about it brings my mood down.
Oh, well, what's your number 3? What kind of food are we talking about here? Let's bring it up.
Oh, mac and cheese. I know I said potato salad is the ultimate side, but I'm going to amend that. Maybe mac and cheese is the ultimate.
Mac and cheese feels more Thanksgiving-y to me, but I mean, I'm not going to turn it down.
Oh,
not at all.
Like a big tray of mac and cheese. Oh, mac and cheese is for every occasion, Max.
Have you ever had smoked mac and cheese?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Mac and cheese in every form is good. Like Kraft mac and cheese, like the cheap stuff, that's good. Like homemade is good.
I prefer homemade now because I'm older. When I was a kid, it was Kraft or nothing.
It's really hard to have a bad mac and cheese. Like you would need like runny cheese or undercooked mac. There are only 2 ingredients. Like I mean, children make it.
Have you ever tried? It was Cheetos Flaming Hot brand mac and cheese.
No, but I would absolutely try that.
So it's an interesting experience. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. Like I had a 5-pack because Derek wanted to try it. This is like Derek's like 10 or something, and he was interested in trying a new food. I was like, yeah, let's get down on this, whatever. And he didn't like it, so I'm like, I have to eat this, and I did. It was an interesting take on mac and cheese. The former wrestling coach at Chambersburg, Doug Ryan, has a meat truck, and he smokes brisket, he smokes pork, but he also smokes mac and cheese. And his mac and cheese, it's incredible. I love that. That might be my favorite mac and cheese. And my dad makes a hell of a mac and cheese himself, so that says a lot.
Like a good smoked mac and cheese, especially like because then you get like the flavor of the meat. Like he
puts brisket in the mac and cheese too. If you give me a couple extra bucks.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
So there you go. Let's bring the vibe back up. My number 3 is the last item that's not food related, and this goes to, if you're going over to somebody's backyard and they tell you it's like bring your own chair, you need to have one of those like really good style foldable chairs that have the cup holders in them, so that you're not sitting on the old fashioned yard chairs. I remember the ones that I grew up with that had like the interlocking cloth that you would fall through, or there was one that was like a vinyl that would get all the sun's heat and then reverberate it right back up in your butt. Those were terrible. So
you don't want it to have like the metal arms that the sun beats down, and then you burn your inner forearms when you rest them.
Now, a good outdoor chair probably costs a couple bucks, which is why we don't have one, because we don't spend a lot of time outdoors. Like, we went to see the fireworks yesterday in the Rural King parking lot, and we just sat in the car. There was people out there with their chairs in the parking lot. And, like, they have those chairs because they're campers or cookouters.
I don't want to like harsh what anyone's into, but I don't understand people who like set out things to be like front row to watch like the 4th of July parades. Like that has no appeal.
Save your space.
Yeah, that has no appeal for me. Like
Bloomsburg have a parade?
I don't think they did yesterday, but they have in the past.
Chambersburg didn't. I'm not sure if Chambersburg ever did. I saw Indiana did. For whatever that's worth. But yeah, I wouldn't save a spot for a parade.
No. Goes without saying, my last 2 are also food.
Sure.
Number 2, ribs. Give me some ribs. Oh, I want to lick my fingers just thinking about it.
I saw a cool video of some European soccer fans experiencing ribs for the first time. They were going to eat them with a knife and fork, and a guy stepped in and he's like, whoa. Stop.
Oh, I bet was it 2 English guys?
Yeah.
They call themselves Jolly.
Whatever they were.
The one guy, it's like a combination of their names. It's like Joe and Oliver or something.
He took one bite and he's like,
yeah, it's just funny seeing their reactions to like American foods, because apparently the English don't flavor their meat when they cook.
They don't believe in seasoning.
Yeah. Like
we don't have a lot of. Again, this is just probably a product of family more than anything. It's been a long time since I've experienced ribs.
Yeah, there are a lot of places around here. Like Bloomsburg has started getting like food trucks and things like that, and you'll see like ribs, pulled pork, brisket. Certainly around fair time.
Yeah.
The one guy who used to be an assistant coach at Bloomsburg at the university, Will Blandon, he had Blandon's barbecue, and like for like $8 you'd get either ribs or brisket with like mac and cheese and like cornbread.
Well, that's Coach Ryan, the brisket and mac and cheese thing. Yeah, so it's something about coaches want to make meat. Makes sense.
Well, I support that because. And brisket, I might like brisket more than ribs, but it's not really like a common cookout food. But ribs at a 4th of July cookout, that's top notch.
Gotcha. So my number two, the first set of food that I went with was I wrote down healthy dose of table snackables, chips slash Doritos. Where you are a fan of like mac and cheese and potato salad, I will put a bag of Doritos in a bowl and call it a day.
Yeah,
And I could do that anytime, cookout or not.
I cannot keep Doritos in my house, or I will eat an entire bag in one sitting.
I did something a couple years ago just to say I did it. I opened up a bag of Doritos. I ate one of them, and I put the bag back. And I felt dirty ever since. I almost feel like I should be convicted of a crime, but
So I'm not. So I'm unfamiliar with this concept. Like you put the bag back, but then you went and you ate the rest of it like a half hour later.
oh, might have been a half. Yeah, I don't know how long it lasted, but I ate one, put the bag away.
I'm not familiar with this concept of self-control.
Oh, it hurt, man. It hurt. But I did it. See, it makes a good story now.
And also when you talk about snackables, I'll say a very underrated snack, cheddar goldfish.
Yeah, well, that's our main here for the kids.
I always have goldfish. I always have popcorn.
There was a Flavor Extreme. It was like this brand that Goldfish had, and they had all kinds of different flavors, but they discontinued all of the flavors. They had a sour cream and onion goldfish. I'm like, this is great. I like this. I don't make it anymore.
I liked, and I haven't bought these since the kids were toddlers, but chocolate goldfish. They weren't like milk chocolate. They were like,
it feels like cookie.
They were still crackers, but the little brown ones that had like a little chocolate flavor, but it was like the chocolate flavor, but still salty, almost like a chocolate covered pretzel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mentally experiencing something that probably feels more like a Teddy Graham than a goldfish.
That's not a bad comparison, actually. The Teddy,
because there was a chocolate Teddy Graham, but graham cracker versus goldfish cracker is it's interesting. I imagine. What's your number one?
My number one. Now this is going to be very niche, very very specific to me. And it was something my mom made, I think, just for me, because no one else in my family was into this. But Mississippi mud pie.
Oh wow! I have no idea what that is. Explain it.
So it's like a chocolate graham cracker crust, and then it's like a frozen, like sort of like vanilla and coffee filling, and then like the chocolate shell that you pour on and it sets like on top of whatever. You put it in the freezer. So it's almost like ice cream cake, but as a pie and coffee flavored.
So there's coffee in it.
Yeah. There's coffee in the filling.
I'm not seeing coffee here.
Well, now that's the way my mom made it for me.
Okay. Like this looks like this guy right here looks super fancy. This thing looks like something my wife would be like all over because it's chocolate upon chocolate.
Yeah.
This one you'd have to convince me to try. I think, I don't know what this one looks like, but a rich layered chocolatey dessert with a crumbly crust, often Oreo or graham cracker, dense brownie-like custard filling. Yeah, sometimes served with ice cream. Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, Mississippi mud pie is what's up.
That's good stuff. I mean, I don't think it need to be the 4th of July. That sounds like a 5th of July thing.
And as far as I know, my brothers didn't eat it. My dad wasn't a big sweets guy. I think my mom only made it for me.
See, that's why we love Judy. Wow, that's cool. My number one is as generic as any as you can imagine for any cookout. I just wrote burgers, hot dogs, but I also wrote brisket down because I went to a cookout once where the guy had there was an outdoor smoker, and they smoked a brisket for 15 hours. Like, we showed up and he's like, "It's been in here for 14 hours. We just have another hour to wait." Wow.
Yeah, brisket's amazing.
If it's done well. I don't believe I'm capable of doing it well, so I don't do it. I also I don't have the hardware.
I looked at buying a smoker because I'm at that age now where, as a man who's almost 50, I either need to take up golf or smoking meats.
There you go. I've taken up golf.
Mini golf?
Yeah, I've taken Maria to 2 mini golfs over the summer.
I saw that video, and I am convinced she hit that in the water intentionally just so she could fish it out.
She was so excited. The first time I took her, she actually lined things up better. The second, the one with the water hazard, it was about 100 degrees out, and I think she was like angling to like let's finish this up so I can go get some water.
Yeah.
But it's neat that I think there's a third mini golf place. There's one up in either Shippensburg or Greencastle that I might take her to because it's cool. I'll put her in the car and she's like, "What are we doing?" Like, I don't know. We're going somewhere.
I'd sent you a picture this week that me and Dave drove through Hazleton because I picked up some pizza.
Yeah.
I don't think they have mini golf at Stewart's anymore.
Yeah, because I talked to her about Stewart's because the big net that they have at this place is called Wallace's. The net was really helpful. At Stewart's, they had the water hazard, but they gave you like a little cup.
Yeah.
And it'd be a lot more intricate in getting your ball out of the water. Yeah, I think Stewart's might have dropped mini golf a while back, which is a shame.
Stewart's was that was like the Masters of like Hazleton area mini golf. Like if there was like a Grand Slam, like Stewart's was Augusta National, and then you had Mickey's and you had wherever else. Was
there a better date place to go though over the summer? Because you go golfing, then you get ice cream. You could sit at that was an amazing place.
You could go for a drive in the valley, Are you looking up if they still have golf?
Yeah. There's a few mini golf spots associated with Stewart's. Stewart's Barnyard Mini Golf in Henry County, Tennessee.
Road trip.
Yeah. Oh, it closed in 2015.
Oh my God, I'm behind the times.
That's a bummer, man. It's still an ice cream parlor.
Yeah, there were people there having ice cream, and I'm sure they still have like the burgers and whatnot.
And they probably have the root beer.
Yes.
So there we go. All right, it is Mr. Smarty Pants time. You said you had some trivia for me. I have a question and a list, and I'll tell you, the list is weird. So okay. I'll give you the question first. Over his entire career competing at the official Nathan's Famous International Hot Dog Eating Contest on Coney Island, including the 66 from yesterday, how many total hot dogs has Joey Chestnut consumed on the Coney Island stage?
How many years has he been there?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay. I'll say, let me do some quick math here. While I'm doing math, stall for time. I'll say 5,700.
5,700?
Hot dogs? If he's done this 18 years, if he's had 52, I just threw 52 out there, 52 average hot dogs a year for 18 years. Oh, I might have done some hasty math. That might not be right at all.
It's not.
Let me do my math again. Hold on.
Wow, he won his 17th mustard belt. That was last year's. They haven't updated the thing. I could be very wrong here.
I'm gonna change it to 950.
That's closer to what I have.
Yeah.
I have 1,257.5.
Yeah, I was doing my math on the soft armchair of the chair I'm in.
Blame the chair.
And so when I was doing my multiplication, I went one digit place over into the thousands instead of the hundreds.
I also relied on AI to do the work for me. I showed it the website and I said, "Here, tell me." So when you said 5,700, I was like, feels like that.
Yeah, 950 sounds better. We'll edit this.
Yeah. So 1257.5. The second ranked hot dog eater of all time now is Takeru Kobayashi. Do you have any idea how many Takeru Kobayashi has eaten on the Coney Island stage? It is significantly less.
310.
468 and 3/4, which is about 5 hot dogs more than Matt Stoney, coming in at number 3 at 463. So if you put both of them together, Joey Chestnut is still like way ahead. So just more hot dog stuff for you.
He's like what Babe Ruth was to home runs when he retired.
No, not everybody swims, not everybody runs, not everybody jumps, but everybody eats. And in that world, he stands alone.
God bless Joey.
List-wise, in trying to keep up with the 250th birthday here, I found this article on the Daily Passport, and I'll read the intro for you.
Okay.
Whether you're chatting with a local merchant or asking a stranger for directions, it pays to be friendly when you're traveling. But some states are more friendly than others and more likely to return the favor. Smart Asset, a finance website, analyzed all 50 states using data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, American Time use surveys to see which were the friendliest based on factors such as time spent socializing, how residents prioritize community engagement, and their willingness to help others. The results reveal the places that are ranked as the friendliest states. Tim, how many of the top 10 states can you name if I give you 3 strikes?
Out of how many can I get out of 10?
I know. Can you get 10? There's 50 states.
Okay, I'm gonna.
So you get 3 strikes.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you just start listing them.
Right. I'm gonna go. I'll go to the Midwest. I'll say like Minnesota.
Minnesota, not on the list.
All right, strike one. How about Missouri?
Missouri is number 9.
How about somewhere like North Carolina?
Carolina, not on the list.
2 strikes.
You gotta be careful now.
How about Indiana?
Indiana, not on the list.
Oh,
However,
my God.
we're going to give you the ABS challenge. We'll give you one more freebie. The top 3 are states that very few people, I think, would consider vacationing in.
Is it like the Dakotas?
1.
What's that?
There are 2 of them. So which one are you going with?
I'll go South Dakota.
No, it's North Dakota.
Ah.
North Dakota came in at number 8. So here's your list, because this is wild to me.
Yeah.
The number 1 most friendly state, according to these criteria, Montana.
It's because no one's there.
I didn't say people were there. I said they were friendly. Number 2 is Utah. Number 3 is Wyoming.
Well, Utah, they're just trying to convert you.
There you go. Number 4
Wyoming,
is
a dying tree can't be rude.
Number 4 is Oregon.
Okay, I can see.
Number 5, here's your first state with a major city, Illinois. And
Okay.
and the rest of it is definitely small town USA. Rhode Island, number 6, Nebraska, number 7, and Washington State rounds out number 10.
Huh.
There you go. The friendliest states according to Smart Asset, the finance website. Whatever.
Well, that was a disaster on both fronts for me. Bad at trivia, bad at the list.
Have those. Wait till you see bad. Here it comes.
Well, now the trivia question isn't that tough for you.
No, that's what you say until you ask.
So, in the modern All-Star game is considered to have started in 1970, when voting was returned to the fans. So, since 1970, what player has led all of Major League Baseball in voting the most times? In fact, I'll tell you, there are only 2 players who have done it 3 or more times.
Albert Pujols?
He did it twice. There are a handful who did it twice, but Pujols only did it twice.
Bonds?
I don't know if Bonds ever did it, actually. Oh, wait. There are 3 players who did it more than 3 times. I forgot the other one.
3 players more than 3 times.
But there's one guy who's the clear answer as, like, he's done it the most. Would you like a hint?
And I feel this is going to hurt my head. Is it Shohei?
It's not Shohei.
Because he did it this year, and I assume he did it last year, and I thought he might have had another one.
Judge did it last year, I believe.
Okay. And I was thinking, like, big market like New York, and I'm like, Derek Jeter was the only name that came to mind because he was like an all-star for 15 years, mate. But I doubt he ever led the league. A-Rod?
It's not A-Rod. He did do it twice, back-to-back in 08 and 09.
Okay. Well, I'll throw one more out there and then call it a day. If I can even come up with another one. Gosh. I'll punt with Tony Gwynn because I know that's not right.
I've given you a hint here. If I turn the hat backwards.
Oh, Griffey.
Griffey did it 5 times in the 90s.
That's something.
And then Rod Carew did it 4 times in the 70s. And Ichiro did it 3 times in the early 2000s.
Oh, wow. Oh, let's see. Okay.
But that was your trivia question.
Oh, geez.
Griffey did it 5 times. Your list is also Major League Baseball All-Star Game based. There are 10 players in Major League All-Star history with 3 or more all-time home runs in their All-Star career.
Wow. I just start throwing names out of it. Mark McGwire.
Not McGuire.
And I know Bo Jackson has 1, so Bo Jackson.
It's not Bo, but was it 89 he led off with the home run?
Yeah. And the announcer was like, just trying to ease into the game, and he cranked one over center field.
And they had Ronald Reagan in the booth because he yeah.
Ted Williams.
He is tied for second with 4.
How about Harmon Killebrew?
He has 3.
Griffey? No.
Not Griffey. Number
about Mike Schmidt.
No on Schmidt.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say number 1 has 6 and played before our lifetimes.
Willie Mays.
No, but Willie Mays does have 3.
Mickey Mantle.
No on Mantle.
I don't know. I'm stuck. Lay it on me.
Number 1 is Stan Musial with 6.
Okay, I don't think I would have guessed Musial at all.
Tied with Ted Williams is Fred Lynn with 4.
The Red Sox, nice.
A name that's been forgotten to time, but a great slugger for Cleveland in the 50s, Rocky Colavito.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
And then the rest are Hall of Fame. Well, Alfonso Soriano's not a Hall of Famer, probably, but
Probably not. No.
he had 3. Ralph Kiner of the Pirates, Gary Carter, and Johnny Bench all had 3.
Look at that. That's a showing for both of us. I suppose. Oh, let's bring the vibe up. Keep 5, cut 5. What do we got this week?
All right. In honor of the 4th of July, these are 10 things that are distinctly American inventions or phenomenon. But they are things that other countries look to us. They are American things.
Gotcha. Okay, well, let's start in the middle. Let's go to number 5.
Number 5, monster trucks.
Oh, man. When I was a kid, like, Bigfoot was this thing, man.
Yes.
And, like, do you ever go to a monster truck rally?
I've seen monster trucks at the fair, just like in the infield there. But I've never like,
been to one.
Paid.
But Bigfoot was like it was a toy. It was a thing.
It was a big thing in the 80s.
Yeah. Cars and that stuff were never my thing. So this would be a cut, but like a respectful cut. Like I can dig where you're coming from. I was just never a big car guy.
Okay.
So that's
Max hates monster trucks. Gotcha.
I absolutely hate them. Let's go with number 3.
Number 3, the sitcom as a form, the television comedy.
Oh, I've spent many an hour watching sitcoms that keep. I many enjoyable hours of entertainment, just sitting, vegging out, watching various just the sitcom. Like that's not a thing anywhere else.
It originated in America.
Oh, okay.
American television originated the sitcom.
You're welcome, world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll accept your thanks whenever, ingrates.
Let's see what the kid feels about the old number 1.
The old number 1. You worked making it. We both enjoy it. Fast food.
God. It's so bad. It really is so bad for you, but you know what? Like growing up, you work there.
As a kid, it's such a fun treat.
It's easy. It's gotten bad though. I really feel like, the last 5-10 years or so, the quality has gone down while the price has gone up. I will still keep it for the convenience and the fact that, if you're lucky. Oh, I don't have one laying around, but like if your daughter is into whatever the Happy Meal is, and you can get one of like the weird little Happy Meal toys.
Yeah.
They're still okay. Like I had a Stranger Things figure. He's upstairs, so I didn't bring him down here yet. So I'll reluctantly keep fast food, even knowing it's super bad for you. Number 9.
Number 9. Buffets. Buffet style, like Golden Corral, Chinese buffet.
The Chinese buffet, the most American of Chinese food.
That's right.
Oh God, how do you cut that? It's
just good old fashioned gluttony.
Yeah, seriously. The biggest buffet in the world is right down the road in Lancaster too, Shady Grove. I'm going to cut buffets just because it's very rare that you walk out of a buffet
feeling good about yourself.
Yeah, And I'll tell you a quick story. When I was in college, my freshman year, we would go to the Chinese buffet on Sunday, and it was $5 a plate. And this is where I learned like buffet math. If I get one plate, it costs me $5. But if I get 5 plates, each plate's cost me $1, and that's it's a reluctant cut. There's nothing more American than buffets, but my stomach's starting to churn a little bit thinking about it. So let's finish off the odd numbers. Number 7.
Number 7, the suburbs. Just, that nice American suburban existence. It's not. Other countries now, I guess, have something like that, but there's something distinctly American about the suburban experience.
Keep it just because I live in one, I think. Well, I mean, I don't know, like we're a suburb of, but like maybe Harrisburg, maybe Frederick, or we're an hour and a half away from Baltimore. That's not quite a suburb of Baltimore, but like
I think any
existence.
I think like Hazleton, I think has suburbs, even though it's not close to, it's like a couple hours from both Philly and New York.
Hazleton has suburbs, like Junedale is a suburb of Hazleton.
Yeah, Junedale's not part of greater downtown metropolitan Hazleton.
No. So we'll keep the suburbs. So of the odds, I've kept 3. So I've got to cut 2 of the evens. Yeah. So let's start 2. We'll go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2.
Number 2, tailgating.
Oh man. So aside from the fun tailgating story I have about at Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Lackawanna County Stadium,
bringing a case of A-Treat sodas
and that little tiny grill,
yeah.
Didn't you get yelled at?
The saddest little hibachi.
Somebody come over and ask, like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Like, high school kids acting like high school kids, but not really. I don't do a ton of tailgating anymore. Not that I ever did. So I will cut tailgating, although it's one of those things like it's like the snow football games. It's fun to watch on TV. Like That's it's fair. Fun to watch the Buffalo Bills fans jump through tables. I can imagine it's cool getting up at 3:00 in the morning to get your parking space and get everything set up. College football, it's a whole thing. And I'd never going to IUP and not being around that culture. Just I feel bad cutting it, but we got to cut some stuff.
All right. So
number 4.
Anyone who likes tailgating in their monster truck, don't invite Max.
Call me. Or call me and try to change my mind if you have brisket.
All right. Where are you going next?
Number 4.
Number 4, deep fried fair food. So we're talking deep fried Oreos, deep fried Twinkies, deep fried sticks of butter, which is a thing they do.
Oh, no. Oh, you had me until butter.
Any sort of deep fried fair food on a stick.
Oh, does it have to be on a stick?
It doesn't necessarily have to be on a stick.
Because that changes things. If it's on a stick, it's a cut. If it's deep fried foods like fair like potato cakes, fair French fries they're a game changer, man.
Okay, so we'll just make it the general deep fried fair foods.
I wrote down deep fried fair food /keep before you started talking about butter and before you started talking about like it has to be on a stick.
It doesn't have to be on a stick.
I don't do a lot of stick food. And butter. Oh my heavens, who's doing that?
That's a thing.
Give me a second. I'm a little verklempt.
Talk amongst yourself.
Oh my gosh. All right. Number 6.
You're keeping the fried foods?
Oh yeah, they're a keep.
Okay.
So I can keep one of these last 3.
Number 6. So it's shopping malls, but particularly like 80s mall culture, like the arcades, the pizzerias, like that whole experience.
I'm sorry, I was blowing my nose. You got to do that one more time. 80s mall culture?
Yeah, like 80s mall culture, like pizzerias, arcades, that whole experience.
Listen, like Stranger Things season 3 was so cool because they introduced them all and it brought you back to Like, I remember going to Laurel Mall with my parents, and like, I break away from my mom. I'm going to go look at the toys. Okay, cool. Then we walked the mall. We went to whatever that pizzeria was.
Dino's.
No, it was before Dino's.
Oh, like the sit-down place?
Yeah.
And it was like a saloon-style place. Like, I know what you mean.
And then you throw in, like, Boardwalk Boulevard and Aladdin's Castle. I'm going to keep this because, damn, that's just what a time to be alive. If I could go back for 2 hours, I don't know. I'd have a good 2 hours. So 8 and 10 are cuts just by default. So what was number 8?
Number 8 is, when I say modern, I mean 20th century on, professional wrestling.
Oh.
So we're talking WWE, WCW, like the carnival style professional wrestling.
From like the 80s on.
Yes.
That's tough. I'd get rid of the suburbs for that, but can't do that.
And number 10 is Saturday Night Live.
Okay. I feel worse about the 20th century pro wrestling. What did I keep? But okay, so fast food and deep fried fair food, they're like an overlap.
Right.
The sitcom I don't feel bad about, and 80s mall culture, yeah. Suburbs I would probably ditch for either pro wrestling or SNL.
But all in all, not bad.
Yeah, I don't feel overly embarrassed about that effort, and that's the thing about these things. They're interesting because you don't know what's coming up next. So,
and
just
that's
like
how you play keep 5, cut 5.
Hey, how about that? And instead of your start bench cut, we're going to do something similar to what we did last week, where last week I asked you to name as many players as we could to get to 1,000. Well, Joey Chestnut consumed approximately 19,800 calories in 10 minutes at yesterday's hot dog eating contest. That's close to what you and I consume in 10 days. What I want you to do is I want you to pick 3 foods for a 4th of July picnic with a standard portion, and you've got to stay under 1,000 calories but get as close to 1,000 as you can. I'm going to use AI here to track what a standard portion's caloric intake is, so you can't say 2 Doritos.
Okay. And I have to hit 1,000?
As close to 1,000 as you possibly can.
Give me a chili dog.
What is the caloric intake for a standard portion of a chili dog? The standard portion of plain chili dog is between 300 and 340. I'll give you the 300.
Okay.
So you're off to a good start.
So is it cheating if I say a double cheeseburger? Because that's a thing people eat.
You want a double cheeseburger?
Yes.
Double cheeseburger. What is the standard caloric intake? It's thinking, searching the web. Between 430 and 480. So double cheeseburger is 430. You are up to 730. So you got to find something that you eat at a 4th of July picnic, 270 or less.
Let's go with a... Let's go with ice cream.
Give me a flavor.
Let me go with like some sort of like brownie batter, like brownie sundae ice cream or something like that.
Brownie sundae ice cream. Standard caloric portion. It's thinking, 550.
Oh, dang.
You could have gone with 3 Miller Lights. That would have been...
Whose standard is that? Only 3.
Oh, a fine effort, I guess. Boom. There we are. It was a fun show, man.
That was very, very 4th of July centric, as it should be.
I looked. We actually had a 5th of July show last year. I think we must have been doing it on Saturday because I was afraid that we did. I mean, we're at show 70 now, so like I worry that we start doubling up on our lists. And we had to do this cookout thing before, but we didn't. I forget. I'll go back and see if I can find it in my drive. It was show 37, and it was funny because our top story on that show was the Yankees falling out of first place, losing 5 in a row. It's kind of
There's a theme.
interesting how that worked. Joey Chestnut consuming 70.5 hot dogs was a quick hitter. We drafted things in our man cave, and our top 5 was our favorite All-Star game.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, an excellent man cave thing. Like I remember I took a big screen TV first, and I let you have a TV last because you have to have a TV.
Right.
Do you remember what you drafted first? You were drafting a man cave. What would you want?
I don't. Did I pick like some kind of like gaming table or something like that?
Pick the pool table. Imagine that.
I couldn't remember if it was like a pool table or a foosball table or something.
But no, so we never drafted cookout things. So we'll have to remember next year that we drafted the cookout things. It's a lot to ask.
We will.
Yeah, sure. Look back at show 70. This is what we drafted.
And we'll remember how angry we were at Sony.
I'm angry on behalf of people that this is going to affect. It's not going to affect me. I don't play enough video. You got a PS5 though, don't you?
Oh yeah, I do, but I don't I'm not.
But I don't play it.
I have Madden and I have basketball for it. Like, I'm not like super like a hardcore gamer or anything like that.
There was a
and the Madden series like that's going to be around for the foreseeable future.
Get Madden 26. You probably don't need another Madden until what, like 33?
Yeah.
Try the college football games. Apparently, the new one is like really good.
I don't, but I thought about getting it. I have Madden 25 from the Eagles championship. I have NBA Live from the Thunder championship, and then I have some some Batman game. It's like a Batman game that's played in the style of almost like Grand Theft Auto, where you're driving around Gotham, or you're like walking around Gotham and like swinging around on your Batarang, beating up bad guys. It's pretty fun.
Somebody made they modded a Grand Theft Auto version of Hazleton, and I wanted to play that. This was back when it's like 2002. I heard about this.
Yeah.
Like GTA 3 just came out for PlayStation 2. We're talking like that old. And like there was a modded version of Hazleton. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I can't imagine how nuts that would be. Like how long that would take. But I'm sure, like now that I think about the logistics behind it, it's probably just like the main roads, like Broad Street and Church Street.
I'm sure.
But that'd still be kind of neat to do. But anything going on the rest of today? Just watch soccer? Or?
Well, yeah, watch some sports. Try to get a workout in. Try to get outside to get a workout in because I think I was telling you like we're supposed to get like a deluge of rain here.
Flood warnings up in North Central.
Yeah, so just try to stay dry, avoid floodwaters.
I'm anticipating going to see the doctor because I could show you, but I've killed an entire tissue box in a day and a half. The post nasal drip or the whatever this is going on up here, I got to get it fixed. Like I started going back to the gym, but I'm having like a hard time breathing because I can't breathe through my nose.
Right. This aggression will not stand, man.
It's gonna stand because I can't do anything about it. I emailed the doctor through my portal, and then I'm seeing the ENT in the end of August. And she's just like, use Flonase. Thanks. I've done that.
Well, hopefully they can figure that out.
Yeah, find something, or I'll just live with a stuffy nose the rest of my life.
That's the age we're at. It's just figuring out random annoying stuff at the doctor, I guess. This is just the rest of our lives.
Hey, even the Mona Lisa's falling apart. But, have a good week, and out in Meatballs land, we will figure out whatever the heck's going on with this audio.